We might be live. But we might not be live. Stop making so much noise, computer. You're waking me up. Yeah, it says we're live. I just gotta wait and see if it sends out any notifications to anyone. Right, well, it sent out the YouTube notification. Oops, Sci-Fi Source is here, and he says, I am here. First. Excellent, good to see you here. Checks out, it says we do have one viewer, so Sci-Fi Source, not only are you first, but you might also be the only one here. Apparently 16 minutes ago, someone named Ben Smith subscribed to my channel. Very nice. Lexi1397 says, I am half here, lol. Which half? Daniel Dalby says, and I am second. Daniel Dalby, I have bad news for you. Lexi1397 beat you here by just a second. Hypermapping says, divorce equals the worst thing to happen in a family. Yeah. 99% of the time, that's true. And guess what, everybody? You know how normally I go into these streams without having eaten anything, and then about halfway through the stream I get ridiculously hungry? Not gonna happen today. I ate breakfast. Sorry, Daniel Dalby, but that's just the way it is. You were beaten by about, I don't know, maybe a second. I saw her message pop up, and then yours was right after it, so. Alright, video. Graphics, what are we at? Ultra? Okay, good. Yeah, we were on ray traced. I was wondering why it was stuttering. Let me check and make sure that I actually did that. Yeah, we were on ray traced. I was wondering because I was turning and it was stuttering. I was like, oh, it's still doing that blur thing. It's probably just gonna take a little while for it to adjust. It took me a long time to get Red Dead 2 working. I decided I wanted to play it the other day. At least you're not forced. Daniel Dalby, yes, at least you're not forced. Forced. Fourth. Third is still good. Lexi says she's about to drive but is listening. Okay. So yeah, no, I was launching up Red Dead 2 so I could play it, and it took me forever to get it working. It must have somehow got switched over to Vulkan, and apparently if you play Red Dead Redemption 2 on Steam, and you have it set for Vulkan, instead of DX12, apparently it just won't work. So it took me a really long time to get it working, like multiple days. But I finally did. So, that was a victory story for me. Anyway, I don't remember exactly what we did in the last stream, but I do know where we are, and we're going to... There's our whistle. We're going to go to the Peller's house, because we're doing Family Matters. Not the hit 80s sitcom, but the mission. I figured since I titled the stream that, I might as well do that mission. Because I think in the last one, we were about 3/4 of the way through the stream before we actually started doing the mission that the stream was named after.
Take it easy.
I was wondering where the heck my stream chat... Who's that? Who's this guy? Townsman? You're not in a town, Townsman.
Come on.
So, Daniel Dalby, is the reason you have a cup of tea after your name, is it because you're British? I mean, the name Daniel Dalby does sound distinctly British, so it would make sense to me if that were the case. But, in any case, I do notice that you have a cup of tea. I'm also noticing that Redneck Zeus isn't here, Estonian Gamer's not here. Both of them are normally in the stream by now. Aha. Yeah, I figured you were British. It's possible that you've told me that before as well.
Hey, anybody home? Open up, it's safe now.
Devils. Who do they bring? What seek ye?
What seek ye? Dave Zilla? Yeah, Dave Zilla's oftentimes here this early.
Grey.
Not always, though.
'Tis he the peller awaits.
Daniel Dolby says, I looked it up. The last name is actually Scandinavian. Well, there's a considerable amount of crossover there, then, in origin, because even if it was originally Scandinavian, it's probably been a British/English name for quite some time since, you know, the Scandinavian incursion,
Strong smell of juniper.
you know.
Designed to protect someone.
That's the fun thing about being from the British Isles. You have 7 or 8 different invasions that brought in different ethnic groups and switched up the geographic, not geographic, but the ethnic makeup, you know.
From what?
Oh, the besieged she was, evil all around, wanting to possess her. Old magic, born of oblivion, from dark sources emerged.
Old magic. Can you be more specific?
It is not for mouth speech, nor for the touch.
It's not for mouth speech, it's for butt speech.
More a peller could do.
He'll fart you the answer.
Anna and her
Yeah, the, nowadays, the most recent one being,
Nay, no,
Indian,
nay.
like, from India,
don't
Indian.
know.
Lots of quote-unquote Indian names are becoming very popular British names because there's just so many Indian people moving into
I
Britain.
know where to look, where to find them.
Lost.
Daniel Dolby says it means Valley Settlement. Dolby does?
None better than
I could see
princess
that.
for finding
It kind of sounds like it's a name for a place.
Princess. Which princess?
That checks out.
Princess, my goat. She's fled.
This guy has an unhealthy relationship with his
Back to
goat.
the auguring.
Without the goat, impossible. No goat, won't work.
Will you help me if I bring the goat back?
Princess, princess, where have you
We're
gone
rocking
to
the Griffin school gear right now.
Fine.
I remember last stream I was
The bell.
I was like, hey, I'd like to dye this, you know, because you can dye Witcher armor.
Follow.
And I was trying to remember, I was like, where the heck do you get dye? I know it's in the game, but I can't remember where you get it. Then I remembered you get it in Toussaint.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
I always keep an eye out for him.
Alright, let's go find the Dingle Dangle. What do we got here? Probably hair?
This way. I think.
No, those might be footprints. Let's kill these wolves. Stab. We did so many side missions and Witcher contracts and stuff that were a bit overpowered for this mission now. Jonas Goldendeck is here, and he says that's why his rubber boots always have hoof prints all over them. I was just looking at a thing the other day about... trying to remember when it was. It was this guy who had made shoes that had, like, 2 little hoofs on it. And so that way, I think they called him, like, the cattle thief or something like that. Not that he stole cattle, but that he, would rob places, and the tracks he left looked like hoof prints. I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's probably a little bit over the top for a modern day type of thing, you know. Nowadays, I don't know that that would do much other than slow you down while you're trying to run away. But, I hear a goat. It's probably right there. But first, we're going to go down and kill this burr. Hypermapping says, shh, Nico, the guy's last name can cancel you. That's fair. That's fair. He does have a rather provocative last name. I was wondering what Ard would do to a bear. They've got a pretty, wide base. I figured it might not do anything, but it seemed to at least stun him. I mean, he hit me right as I blasted him, so... Alexi1397 says, I'll be back, going into the store, lol. That is quite funny, lol indeed. I can hear the goot. I always like to kill the bear before I come get the goat, so that way I don't have to worry about it.
Here, goat.
How do I ring the
Here,
bell?
princess.
Nope. That's how I do it.
And horned. Should have known it would be stubborn.
Yeah, but if you don't kill the bear beforehand,
Come on. See the bell.
because it walks over that way, the bear will just attack it. Hypermapping says Jonas has the longest username for a reason. I mean, hypermapping ULMROA seems to be a pretty long name.
This way, Your Grace.
It's so weird. We use the bell on this mission, but any other time you're trying to lead someone or something to a certain place, you just cast Axie on them. You know?
Where the hell did you go?
Stupid goat. Yeah, see, this is the part. It runs over towards this cave. And if you didn't kill the bear beforehand...
I think I ran into him earlier. Do I really have to keep ringing this bell for you to follow?
Come on, stupid goat. Let's get you back so you can, continue your strange relationship with the peller. Good, it's still following me.
You're no roach, but I bet we could be friends in time. You've got that all-important quality every roach has to have.
Every
You
roach.
don't talk much.
I like how he refers to horses as roaches because he's had so many and he always names them Roach. I like that. It reminds me of, my cat's name is Taco, and I'm so used to my cat that whenever I see someone else's cat, I'm like, that's a good taco. You're a good taco. You know? So I get that. Redneck Zeus finally popping in. He says, howdy. Howdy, Redneck Zeus. We were wondering where you'd gone. Jonas Golden Dick says, LMAO, I got it in an unfortunate schmelting accident.
Happy
I get that reference,
Anna
Jonas Golden Dick.
Anna and Tamara, they might be in danger.
The White Wolf helped the peller, and so the peller shall help him.
Good.
Blood.
Redneck Zeus says, I literally just woke up. Well, I'm glad that this is the first thing you do in the morning. I ate breakfast. I went down and cooked some eggs, bacon, and made some toast. And so, I actually ate breakfast this morning, so I shouldn't get too ridiculously hungry too quickly. At least one would hope not. Look, a rat.
Will this do?
Sprinkling some grain on the ground. Pouring some goat milk on top of it. Blessing it with a rat. Cutting the rat's entrails out. Nice, nice. I'm just guessing he doesn't serve too many customers here.
There is God. Blood. I see blood.
Whose?
No Anna. No Tamara. Just a child.
I like his chicken foot necklace.
A child that lives not, yet did not die.
Mentioned a child. Whose?
Why, Anna's.
Anna was pregnant.
She was. And she miscarried.
Baron didn't mention it.
Afraid, perhaps. Or ashamed, or forgetful. Or perhaps he had no wish to remember.
That's a lot of options.
Did the Baron have anything to do with his wife's miscarriage?
Foul-tempered he is, and he's a fondness for hooch.
No doubt makes his temper even
I
fouler.
like it in
Did he abuse his
gold.
family? Anna came to you. You must have noticed something.
The Peller's old, near blind. But Princess came and licked her hand.
So what?
She's a wise beast. Only comes to those who suffer.
What happened?
That's
to the
why she
child?
came to Geralt, because he
Brave
suffers.
throne, without rite or ceremony, it awoke. Now it
Oh,
wanders.
Redneck Zeus, I have now finished Season 3 of The Boys.
White wolf, wise wolf, catch the botchling. The botchling will.
I
help.
get what you mean by, like, the writers clearly have him as, like, a Trump, have Homelander as, like, a Trump metaphor. I get what you mean.
Cursed.
I think they did a bad job. It's really, really sloppy. But I get what you mean. They definitely, it looks like that was the direction that Seth Rogen was taking it in. So,
Whatever I do, I gotta find the botchling first.
I saw that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is confirmed for Season 4. I'm excited to see that.
The The Baron ought to know where that grave is.
I like as much as you dislike the character of Negan in The Walking Dead, you can't deny that Jeffrey Dean Morgan played him really well. You know, so I'm excited to see him in The Boys, considering it's quite a bit more hardcore show than The Walking Dead ever was. I just kind of wonder what he'll be, because in some movies he's not, like, he's played lots of different roles, you know, he's not always the bad guy. So it's entirely possible that he's going to be a good, like, quote-unquote good guy, as good as anyone in that show is, you know. So, no, like I said, I'm excited for that. Or as excited as someone can be about a TV show. I don't know that I want to buy any alchemy supplies. I kind of thought maybe he'd be able to play a game of Gwent. That's really the reason I talked to him. Now we're going to go... let's read the bestiary to learn more about botchlings. The cursed ones. Saying a botchling's ugly is like saying shit's not particularly tasty. Can't say it's a lie, but it doesn't exactly cover the whole truth either. Lambert, Witcher of the Wolf School. I like how the bestiary has a quote from a current Witcher. Clearly they're updating the bestiary pretty frequently. Actually, before I do that, let's clear all these little stars we've got for all the monsters we've been running into. Groids. Relicts, of course. How could we not have relicts? There we go. Alright, Redneck Zoo says, they obviously want you to hate him, but their bias is so hilarious you can't help but love him. Well, like, I definitely do not love him. They make him a character that I would say is a bad, you know, like, oh, this is a bad guy. In real life, I would hate him. The character of Soldier Boy I really enjoyed the character. Not because he's a good character. Again, you dislike a lot of the stuff he does. But the reason I liked the character of Soldier Boy was because... So when you watch the Marvel movies, they've got Captain America, a guy from the 1940s who got frozen and then, you know, is unfrozen in, you know, current year. And he's just fine with everything. Nothing about modern society bothers him at all. He doesn't have any biases from the fact that he's from the 40s. Like, stuff like that. I was always like, that's not what he would be like. He would have a really hard time adjusting to the way things are. Because things are very different than they were. And I like that Soldier Boy reacted to a lot of the different stuff. I thought that was interesting. Like, I'm already getting the sense... from the show that the writing is kind of falling apart. Baron said that oh yeah, that's right. So like we'll have to see how season 4 is, but it seemed like the writing was a lot tighter in season 1 especially, but then season 2. Season 3 felt a little sloppier and a little bit more rushed with the story. So I don't know if they're focusing a little bit too much on their sharp political commentary, or if it's just that they're running out of steam already. But I did think writing-wise season 3 was a little bit sloppy. But I thought Soldier Boy was interesting. His whole revenge arc was pretty compelling, I think. And it was fun to see him going against, you know, him versus Homelander type stuff. Like, it's interesting. You know, I liked it. And I think that, what's his name, the guy who plays Soldier Boy was good at it. Yeah, no, so far I like the show. I would say it definitely goes as hard as possible for the shock factor, you know? It's as gory as possible, it's as crass as possible, you know? They never miss an opportunity to show some sort of nudity. It's, you know, like I said, it's definitely trying to do shock as much as possible. And sometimes that lands, sometimes that does not land, in my opinion.
Coming to get you.
Oh, that's the wrong door. What the heck am I supposed to be doing? Open the main gate. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Got Felix Grubstein saying, yo-ho. Hello, Felix Grubstein. Yo-ho to you as well. Redneck Zoo says, maybe I don't love Homelander, but he is my favorite character on the show. He's definitely... I pay the most attention when he's on screen. He's like... He's an antagonist. He's a bad guy, and I don't like him. But I pay attention to him, you know, when he's on screen because he commands that attention. And so for that, I don't know, maybe in a clinical sense, you might say that he's my favorite character, just because, like I said, he keeps my attention the best out of anyone. But I don't know. I'm fighting, huh? I wasn't paying attention.
They ran from you, didn't they?
Lying thick.
Ooh, the strong attacks. There we go. I don't know. I like MM. I think MM is a good character. Who else is there? I mean, Butcher is a character. I enjoy Carl Urban. So, because of that, that's probably most of why I like Butcher as a character. I think the whole temporary V thing was weird. It's weirdly done. I would say I expect in the next season, because of the state that Butcher's in at the end of the season, their best option is to try giving him some regular V to see if that saves him, you know? I don't know.
That's another story.
She
always knew how to spark my eye.
It's hard to say if Homelander would be my favorite. It's a competition. The show is more of a competition for who's the worst character, because there's a lot of bad characters in the show that I don't much enjoy. What's his name? The main character guy, the skinnier, wimpy kind of guy. I don't love his character. Like, he's okay at times, and at other times, I just don't much care for him. Starlight's kind of the same way. She's just kind of really annoying. Maeve is okay sometimes. Like, sometimes I like Maeve. I was hoping I would eventually, like, Black Noir would be a thing. Like, he would actually be something more than just, like, a background character. But then he never really turned into anything. The Deep is annoying and stupid. What's his name? A-Train? A-Train, I probably, like, he was probably the most interesting in this season out of any season so far. I don't know. Homelander might be my favorite character too, now that I think about it. Lexi1397, we are talking about The Boys. Me and Redneck Zeus are talking about it.
I was left with nothing. Nothing. Only the bottle.
Felix Grubstein says, played Cyberpunk? Yes, I have played Cyberpunk. I played it at release, and then I played it again recently, because everyone was saying it was so much better.
I woke at sunset, not knowing how many days
I do not like it as much as I like The Witcher.
It was all a plowing, drunken nightmare.
But that checks out because my favorite game settings are, in order, medieval fantasy, and then any other historical period piece. So, you know, the ancient era, the age of tall sail ships, the American Wild West, anything like that. All of those come, you know, in that order. And then after that, 20th century modern, then after that, post-apocalyptic, then after that, modern day, then after that, futuristic. You know, so like my least favorite settings are your sci-fi futuristic settings, and then right before that, in the rating of what I like the least is like modern contemporary settings. So that's just me. The newer it gets, the worse I like it, basically.
I told Anna, the little one, our little one, to make things right.
This is one of the things about The Witcher 3 that's so compelling, is the Baron storyline. Because they take a character who you just generally don't like. Like, my first reaction to pretty much everything the Baron does is not to much like him, you know? But I dislike his wife a lot more than I dislike him. So it's like it's not one-sided there, and the story is complex and realistic in that way. Typically, in real life, when you hear some story about a marriage failing or something like that, it's almost never one-sided. You know, it's almost never just one person's fault and the other person was perfect. You know. And in this story, it's not. I mean, in this story, it's very bad. Like, he was an abusive drunk, and she was an adulterous nag who was also abusive, and ends up killing her own child because she's so crazy, you know? Like, it's hard to say which one I dislike more in the pair, but I honestly think I dislike Anna more than I dislike the Baron, you know? Crazy D Entertainment says, okay, the like button does work. Thank you for testing it. Felix Grubstein says, I love The Witcher better too, but the story and characters in Cyberpunk are brilliant too. I didn't dislike the story of Cyberpunk. I played through it all the way at release, and then, like I said, I played it again recently. Not all the way, but I played a good chunk of it again recently. And I did enjoy it. There were just... It was more mechanical stuff about Cyberpunk that I didn't much care for. I feel like the world didn't feel as realistic as the world of The Witcher does. It kind of felt empty and really body, and most of that comes down to probably AI. I didn't like that back when I played it because I think it's different now, but you couldn't really, no matter how much money you made, you couldn't really like get a better apartment or buy property or stuff like that, which is kind of like the goal of your character in the game, is to get rich and famous and powerful, and then you can't do that no matter how rich you get in the game. I didn't like that. And the side content. One of the things about The Witcher 3 is the side content is all gold. The vast majority of side missions in The Witcher 3 are really good and pretty dang entertaining, you know? Whereas in Cyberpunk, most of them felt empty and stupid. But the main story of Cyberpunk I did enjoy, and the characters were compelling enough, most of them at least. Some of them were stupid, but you know, all games are like that.
Why would we? Mistake. Names are powerful seals.
Crazy D Entertainment says, happy late birthday, Lexi. Yep. What was it? Friday was Lexi 1397's birthday. How old did you turn? Like 98, 99? I know she's pretty old.
Damn it, will you relent? I'm plowing now I've done wrong.
Lexi 1397 says, someone remembered my birthday, lol.
The grave's dug up.
We all remembered your birthday, Lexi.
What's that mean?
Botchling's on the prowl.
Botchling's on the prowl. 26. I was close.
Look.
Take it in your arms, quick.
And if it goes Garrity, it'll bite us in the arse before we know it.
Keep screaming and it will turn round.
Calm down, Baron. You have a gorget on.
Bloody hell. What happens when it gets plowing restless?
It'll bite through your jugular and you'll bleed to death.
Crazy Entertainment says, you don't forget the law's birthday.
I'll calm it with magic.
That's right, she is the law.
Pick it up.
It is smart to remember the law's birthday. Otherwise, the law, instead of protecting and serving, will harass and abuse.
Merciful gods.
Felix Grubstein says, how about Red Dead Redemption 2? Yes, I love that game. It's one of my favorites of all time. I was just telling people at the beginning of the stream how recently Axes is what we need. How recently I decided I wanted to play it again, and it had been a while, you know, since I had played it, and when I tried launching it, it wasn't working, so I had to do a fresh install, clean everything off the drive, you know, try to get her back on, and it just wasn't working. It kept crashing every single time I tried to play it, so I looked it up online, and I found out that the most likely thing, because I'm obviously not the only person that was having this problem, but they said the most likely thing was that somehow my game had gotten switched over to the Vulkan settings, and that's why it was crashing, because apparently Red Dead Redemption 2, if you've got it set on Vulkan on Steam, it does that. It'll just randomly start crashing and won't let you launch it or anything. So I had to work really hard to basically I had to get myself a copy of the current game launch log from someone else's settings who had it set to DX12 and install those into the file manually and then launch the game and change the settings on my computer. And once I did all of that, I finally got it to work. Lexi1397 says, I am the law. Well, I appreciate that. You remembered, LOL. She also says, I'm going back into another store.
Me? Nothing. This is your job.
Why the heck do I have a lamp out?
If the tales are true, by tomorrow it'll be a lubberkin. From then on, it'll watch over your house and help me find your family.
Look at the little lubberkin. Or, well, no, right now it's a botchling, but it'll be a lubberkin once we bury it or whatever. I like how it can summon wraiths. Seems like a really powerful and weird power for a, stop hitting me, you think. There we go. Oh, there's one more. Where'd he go? Oh, there's 2 more. 3 more? How many wraiths can this thing summon? How do you like that silver? Come here, Wraith. Are we done? There we go. He said, Felix Groupstein says, The Witcher 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are the best games ever made, in my opinion. Loved Ghost of Tsushima 2 a lot, by the way. I've heard Ghost of Tsushima was really good. I never ended up playing it. Not by choice. I like it never was something I had the time or whatever to play, you know? So, I've heard it's good, though. My top 3 are The Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Kingdom Come Deliverance. I just absolutely love them. What else did we say? Huss says, how do you like that silver? How do you like that silver? Wind's howling. Renix says, my Red Dead only works on Vulcan settings. On DX12, my FPS drops to 0, IDKY. That's what, yeah, online a bunch of people said, yeah, but if I switch it over to DX12, my FPS drops, and I assume it just has to do with optimization, because I think Vulcan downscales things, or something, like, to make it run a little bit better on certain systems. But yeah, for me, if I try running it on Vulcan, it won't launch. I can't get the game. Like, it'll launch the game, black screen will come up, like it's about to load, like it's about to pop on, you know? And then a little thing will pop up and it'll say, game failed to initialize. Please reboot or reinstall graphics drivers, you know? And it does that over and over and over and over again. So yeah, it took a long time, but once I got it to DX12, it started to work. Crazy D Entertainment says, very powerful, baby. Very powerful indeed. Dave Zill says, this would make a glorious child of Adam, such a handsome young zealot. It's one way to look at things. Who says, I'm actually downloading Kingdom Come Deliverance right now. I absolutely love that game. It is phenomenal. There's a lot of people out there, because I feel like that game only sold 5 or 6 million copies. If you compare that to other games that are like it, like Red Dead or The Witcher, or to a much lesser extent, a game like Skyrim or something, where you have, you know, tens of millions of people playing them, a lot of people that would love Kingdom Come Deliverance have never tried it.
I'll stay here and wait. You go home.
That's why I never stopped talking about it. Because a game like The Witcher 3 was super popular. Pretty much everybody who had any interest in it has probably already played it, you know. There's probably a small group of people that haven't, but the vast majority have. Kingdom Come Deliverance is exactly the opposite. The vast majority of people who would love it haven't played it yet. And that's the thing.
Wait a day and a night for the Botchling to turn into a lubberkin. That's it.
Especially when you consider it was Warhorse Studios' first game out in that IP. The Witcher 1 was not a good game. Like, it has a very compelling atmosphere, and I like the story from it, but the game is not good. I would even say it wasn't good then. Like, I obviously enjoyed it then more than I enjoy it now. I think I have to wait. Meditate. Oh, what did it say? Sit and wait. There we go. Like, I was able to play it back then, and now it's basically unplayable. But there's a huge difference. That's why I say Kingdom Come Deliverance, yeah, it's got problems, you know. But considering it was their first outing, and it was crowdfunded and didn't have a huge budget, you know, it's a really good game. Who says, God, the combat sucks in The Witcher 1. Game was outdated before it even came out. That's what I'm saying. Like, the game itself is and always was a flawed, bad game. The atmosphere of, Flotsam is very compelling, and obviously the world is still an interesting world based on the books. So there are things about The Witcher 1 that makes it endearing, and that's why I'm so excited about the remake. Is just because, fundamentally, at a design level, The Witcher 1 was a bad game. And on top of that, they don't even get a lot of the good voice actors until The Witcher 2. Because The Witcher 1's voice acting, on the whole, was pretty bad. And another thing about it is there's story beats, like how they completely don't bring up, never do they reference Yennefer or Ciri. And they're like two of the most well-known, important people in the entire world. And so it's just weird that it never comes up. Like, if you know the lore and you're playing The Witcher 1, it seems weird that they just never even reference them. Especially to Geralt. You'd think anybody that knew Geralt would be like, hey, so have you seen your adopted daughter and or the woman that you're always hanging out with? I don't know what more accurate way to say that. But, you know, so I'm really hoping that they fix all those issues with the remake and make the combat not god-awful like it was in the first game. I see some people who they're like, I hate the combat in The Witcher 3. It was the only thing I liked from the first two games. I was like, are you insane? The combat in The Witcher 1 is broken, unplayable trash. And in The Witcher 2, it's only slightly better, you know?
Might be worth looking around, though.
Crazy D Entertainment says, my hardcore KCD playthrough is going absolutely insane.
Must have dropped it.
That game, on hardcore, it can be pretty insane. Sub to PewDiePie FT Series says, you're cute. Thank you, Sub to PewDiePie F Series.
Here.
FT Series. Seems like an outdated username. I feel like maybe that was more relevant back in the
Horseshoe.
the PewDiePie versus T Series saga. Thank you for saying I'm cute, by the way. I like to think so.
Going the right way.
Well, what are we doing now,
Something
Lubberkin?
more.
What do you want to show me, Lubberkin? Look, an Enderga. Oh, it died. Look, another Enderga. Oh, it died. Who says, I finished The Witcher 2 a couple days ago. It is really amazing. Like I said, The Witcher 2 is a huge improvement over the first one. You know, the only thing that I still think The Witcher 2 does pretty dang bad is combat. But it is an improvement over The Witcher 1 in that it's at least not unplayable. But The Witcher 2 is where they introduce the much better voice acting. The story is a step up from the first one, but still really good. The story was always the strong point of the Witcher games. And, I think they touch on more interesting stuff. So The Witcher 3 is just a better game in pretty much every regard. The only way that it's not, per se, is subject matter. So, like, the execution of the story in The Witcher 3 is better than the execution in The Witcher 2, in my opinion. But The Witcher 2 deals with more interesting topics, you know? You're not... As much as I can get on board with the hunt for Ciri, you know, trying to find her and save her and all that sort of stuff, and the otherworldly presence of the wild hunt and all that sort of stuff, it is very interesting. But, like, the politics of the North is an interesting subject, you know? And so, as much as I love the way The Witcher 3 does everything, the overall setting and vibe of the story for The Witcher 2 is just so good. Lexi1397 says, I'm back. Back out of the store or done doing all sorts of stuff? Who says, what? Bad combat in The Witcher 2? How? I found it really good, though. The issue was it was kind of a slow sometimes and disengagement was damn near impossible. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying it's bad like The Witcher 1's combat was bad. I just don't like the way that it kind of paced the game into this monotonous sort of combat. The Witcher... So in the universe that we're playing these games in, Witchers are superhuman fast, like reflexes-wise. They're very strong. They have incredible stamina. and they're trained better than any other warriors in the entire world. You know, they're legendary. And so I like it when the combat system reflects that. I didn't like the monotonous feel of the combat in The Witcher 2 because it doesn't... it doesn't reflect the nature of Geralt in that way. Not to mention, you know, that's just the general reputation of Witchers, whereas Geralt is, like, the best Witcher. So, look at this guy, just sitting there, taking a rest. It's nice, heartwarming type of stuff. Lexi1397 says, I am listening and driving. Okay. So I assume you just mean you're out of the last store you were in. Crazy D Entertainment says, drive safe. I agree, drive safe. Renix Zeus says, so, did you watch any more House of the Dragon? Not yet. See, the problem with House of the Dragon is I started watching that one with my wife. And so, if I want to watch that one, I have to wait for her to be able to watch it. And so we have, you know, so we can watch it together. Whereas with The Boys, when I was watching it on my own time, I could watch it, like, in between work. So I'd depending on what I was doing, so let's say I was editing videos for YouTube, I would get a video all edited and set it to render, and it takes, you know, a half an hour to render a video. And so during that half an hour, I could watch a half an hour of The Boys, you know? And that's how I was able to watch through all 3 seasons of that relatively quickly. Whereas with House of the Dragon, for me and my wife to both have time to sit down on the couch and watch it, it's got it, well, for one thing, the kids have got to be to bed because it's certainly not a child-friendly show. And,
take a closer look.
you know, they're long episodes and everything, so we've got to get the kids to bed and have enough time to watch it before we have to go to bed. So I have not watched any more yet.
Who's that? The room.
Crazy D Entertainment says Hot Fire D.
What you seek here, sir? Our hut's out of the
I
way.
want to watch some more House of the Dragon.
We has nothing. We knows nothing.
Just need information. Looking for 2 women. The Bloody Baron.
Who says, we comparing Witchers now? As much as I like to think that Geralt is the strongest Witcher out there, Letho legit grabbed him with one arm and threw him 15... Well, yeah, Letho's insane. First of all, he just looks like a roided out jock. Like, the guy's massive. So yeah, Letho is obviously insane.
Where'd the girl go?
And,
Her son said
you know, it's hard to say...
playing dumb anymore.
Rednex who says, ruin your sleep schedule, stay up late watching House of the Dragon, be a man. No, I would be willing to do that. My wife would not be willing to do that, is what I'm saying. I would just stay up at night and watch the whole shit, and then, you know, get up an hour later and work for a whole day. I could do that. I've done that before. But, my wife would never agree to do that. She has to be, because, she works part-time in the morning. And so, if she's going to make it to her shift in the morning, she has to be asleep by like 10, 10:30 at night. And we don't put the kids to bed much earlier than that, so. The only time we ever end up watching it is usually, like, we'll watch something on Fridays or something like that, because on a Friday night, she doesn't have to work in the morning, like, she doesn't have to go to work in the morning, and I don't have to focus on any of the stuff I'm working on nearly as much, because I work really intensively Monday through Thursday, and then just during the day on Friday. I'm trying to give myself a weekend.
Finally, they came forth, and we sets off towards the river.
But otherwise, I would just stay up late and watch the whole thing in one night. I've done it a million times. I'll do it a million more. I did it with The Boys quite a few times. I stayed up until like 1, 2 in the morning,
Mrs. Anna screamed.
so I could watch a couple more episodes.
Tamara knelt down.
Yeah, no, I think legit, Letho is probably physically the strongest one, at least the strongest one that we've ever seen. I just think, like, the overall combat abilities of Geralt are, like, the best, you know? Because even though Letho is physically the strongest, he sacrifices, like, a little bit of speed and maneuverability because of that. Whereas Geralt is not that much weaker, and also is more maneuverable, and, you know, probably also a little bit better at the variety type combat that you see Geralt do, so not just using swords, but also throwing in signs. Stuff like that.
Crickets all went silent of a sudden.
I saw something the other day. I didn't watch the video, but the headline said something about House of the Dragon not being back next year. Does that just mean they're going to do a 2-year gap between seasons instead of the 1? I would find that annoying because it's bad enough waiting a year for a TV show. It's one of the reasons I don't typically watch a lot of new TV shows, ones that are still running, because I hate waiting a year between seasons. It's always annoyed me. Even back before streaming was like the main thing, there were only a couple shows I would watch new because I hated waiting for the next episode. And then that's bad enough, waiting a week between episodes, that's bad enough. But once you get to the end of the season and now you're waiting almost a year before the start of the next season, that's so much worse. Oh man.
We thought he was done for.
There's only a couple shows I've ever put up with that for, and I almost never am like, yeah, that was worth it. I'm always like, would have been better to watch that all at once.
Me, myself, I'd have never dared to help. But my missus told me
Lexi1397 says he's got that range. Yes, but one crucial weakness. Pitchforks. Get you every time.
Who stands by idly does evil as if.
Married a wise woman.
That's true.
Crying shame we couldn't save Mrs. Anna in the end.
Thanks for your help.
I like the kid standing there.
She'll be all right in the end, won't she?
I'll do what I can to see that she is.
Hello, chitlins. Let's get out of here. Oh, that's right. I was like, why are we going into another cutscene?
Our paths diverge. Thank you, Dea. Go in peace.
Goodbye, Dea. Alright, talk to the Baron about his family, or find Tamara, the Baron's daughter, in Oxenford. Ooh, we could go to Oxenford. Haven't been there yet. Who says it wouldn't... It would have been very cool if the kids would follow you like they do in The Witcher 2. I think... I think that, at least The Witcher has children in it, you know? A lot of open-world games will just totally not have children in at all, because they're afraid of what the players will do to the children. It's like, so in Skyrim and Fallout, games like that, they just make the kids unkillable. And they also make them really annoying, so, you know, they annoy the crap out of you, and you can't kill them. But then in games like, I want to say it's like Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, stuff like that, you typically don't have kids out in the open world. No, wait, in Red Dead you do. Yeah, in Red Dead you do, because I remember them robbing you in Saint Denis. What have we got here? A brig? Easy, horse. KCD has no children. Yeah, that's right, KCD has no children. It's just, it seems weird when they're like, I know the solution, just take the kids out of it. And I'm like, yeah, but worlds have kids in them. That's like a defining feature of society, is that you have children. So, it always seems like there's maybe some hidden thing, like, huh, and there must be an underlying mystery as to why there's no children, you know, some nefarious secret. Some chitty chitty bang bang style child catcher running around and kidnapping them all. And then it turns out the devs are like, no, we just didn't want you guys killing children on stream because, you know, that would be bad press. Crazy D Entertainment says, I hate the children in Assassin's Creed 3. That's fair. I can't remember them very well because it's been a long time since I played Assassin's Creed 3. But, I'd believe it. Suck on that, Drowner. Oh, we probably still have Axie. Oh, I thought that Drowner was much closer to me. Eh. Who says, oh, by the way, who did you side with in The Witcher 2? Which one do you mean? Like, Roach versus, Yorvith? Because if that, not Roach, why did I say that? Yeah, Vernon Roach? God, why am I suddenly thinking that doesn't sound right? Blue Stripes guy, Temerian. It depends. Probably most frequently, Vernon Roach. But I've also sided with Yorvith. I think they do a good job in The Witcher 2 making both sides somewhat empathetic. You know? Ah! Dick. This is one of the things that the, I almost said Anniversary Edition. The Next Gen Edition, it was a good change. They made it so that the guards aren't just unkillable one-hit gods. They made them just, like, slightly higher-leveled bandits. Level-wise and damage-wise. It's one of the things that I always used to change myself through mods. Ah! I must have stole something. Because I was like, why the hell are people attacking me all of a sudden? But I'm willing to bet that's why. There we go. So yeah, I mean, I don't always side with one over the other in The Witcher 2. Because I can empathize with both, but usually Vernon Roach. Because just as a rule, I stick to the Generation Tech mantra, which is humanity first. And so, if you're going to force me to side with either humanity or, well, in that case, elves, but, you know, non-humanity, I'm gonna choose humanity. You know why? Because I'm a human. That's just what it comes down to. There's very few exceptions to that. Like, when you've got a story where the non-human side or whatever is clearly right in every single way, and the human side are just cartoonishly evil, like twirling their mustache because they're evil, you know. That's the only time where I will ever side with them instead. And when you do that, it's like, that's lazy writing. You know, if you have to go that far to get me to betray my people, maybe you shouldn't be trying so hard to get me to betray my people. It's kind of the way I look at it. You say you did not empathize with the Scoia'tael at all, even once. That's you? I say, because I did. I wouldn't say that I empathized with them as much as I just sided with them to see what would happen. You know? Because that's how I play most games. Foglets are annoying. Oh, yuck, it's a hidden treasure, isn't it? Oh, what do we got here? Oh, there's the key. Alrighty then. That was a weird hidden treasure. It was just right there. I know that in this game, like The Witcher 3, but specifically this playthrough, I think I've been making every decision so far on the humanity first basis, so... Like when you run into the, you get the contract from the guy at the bridge to find the monsters that killed their guys in the woods or whatever it was, and it turns out it was the Scoia'tael band. I just killed the Scoia'tael band, and, you know, went and told the people about it. Because a lot of times I'll be like, oh yeah, well if you gotta stop attacking people, otherwise I'll do this, you know, do the Geralt answer. But in this playthrough I've just been doing my instinct. And I'm like, yeah, you guys are murdering people, so I'm gonna stop you from doing that. Running into a lot of question marks on the way to... Oh, there's a ghoul attacking Roach. And Roach is just casually walking away. Come on, buddy. Come on, Roach. And I wouldn't say that it was so much like empathy with the Scoia'tael as it is just personally liking Yorvith. And so in the part where you kind of make the split-second decision to either give him his sword or just let the Blue Stripes Commandos kill him, in that one, I think it comes down to, like, would Geralt not give him the sword? I think Geralt would give him the sword in that split-second decision, you know? Just because he hasn't done anything particularly bad to Geralt, and he has no reason, you know, to let him there to die without a weapon. Kind of the vibe I get, you know? Temeria is what matters. Well, and that's how, when I got into The Witcher 3, I was expecting it to be somewhat Temeria-focused, you know? Just because from The Witcher 1 and 2. But, then you get into this game, and they're like, nope, Temeria got conquered by Nilfgaard. Temeria's gone. It's all done. Like, you spend, obviously, Velen is part of Temeria, so you spend time in Temeria, but, it's not the ruling kingdom anymore. The closest thing we've got to a ruling northern kingdom now is Redania. Lexi1397 says, 1397 says, my hands are freezing. Oh, yeah?
No passage.
This morning when I took my daughters to work, all of the snow and ice had slid off of my garage and piled in a big heap in front of it, so I had to shovel all that out. That was annoying.
This what you mean?
I got a pass.
Let me look at that.
I did that for doing that mission that I was just talking about.
Missing a seal, the red one.
Impossible.
department of civil defence forgot again. They're really off their heads these days. Happens, so be it. You may come through.
Igneous ass. Doesn't open up the gate. Alright, well, you've chosen the way of pain.
Faster.
That guy just spit at me. Who says, it's kind of disappointing that CD Projekt did not import the choice when Roach sides with Redania in The Witcher 3. Yeah, I agree. That's one of the weird things. So, I mean, it's also weird seeing Roach wearing red. I think that's just a weird decision, you know, to make. Because he's so loyal to Temeria, I think the decision for him to side with Redania is a weird one. But then, the other decision that I didn't like that they forced us into is, so for The Witcher 3 here, if you do Reasons of State, you basically get the choice between totally abandon the North, like, choose the much worse decision there, or let Letho kill your friends, like your own personal friends. Why the hell won't my horse go any faster than this? And I never liked being locked into that decision path, because I don't like the, like, Roach's ending. I think it's a stupid negotiation out that's kind of half-assed, and the other one is much better for the North. But Geralt would never let Letho just kill his friends, you know? That wouldn't happen. And I wouldn't either. I would never side that way and let them murder my friends, no matter how much better the ending is. So, it does get me sometimes, like the way that CD Projekt Red will choose which choices will matter in the next game and which ones won't. I know it's probably easier to code that way, but the problem I have with it is, if you're gonna make these choices available, it kinda feels stupid not to actually have them affect something in the next game when they could. That's just me, though. Alright. This crossbow is better than the one we have. Chronically running low on pretty much all of the... What's that? Vizima champion? On all of the money in this game, just all the time. We have to read those. Alrighty. Just doing the regular, clearing all my stars. I can't have stars, it's a weird quirk that I've got, but they bother me. And we finally get to play Gwent. That's the good thing about coming over to Oxenford. Crazy D Entertainment says, rub them together and blow on them, lol. Clap 3 times, then spin around. You'll warm right up. Or fall down. Hey, look at that. We got Vernon Roach. I don't remember when we won him. But that means we have to take a different card out of this one. So Vernon Roach is... Alright, well that's obvious. We'll take out Zoltan Shibe then. Start game. Alright, 2 decoys is fine. Oh, we don't need... Oh, no, wait. These ones are all partners. Okay, that's fine, but we're gonna get rid of clear weather. Damn, no spies. Alright, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna save her because I'll be able to replay in the second round. That's a weird draw. Getting 3 Blue Stripes commandos and 2, what are those, Cranford Reavers? What are they? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, well, we're just gonna play these guys then. Hopefully he doesn't have a Scorch. Hey, look at that! We finally got a spy. That'll help. That's like my favorite spy card, because it's only worth 1. Well, that one, the hero spy card, that's worth 0, I like too. But the only problem with that one is that you can't, like, redraw and use the decoy and stuff to take it, so I don't like it as much for that. $40. Makes sense that he passed. Alright, well, obvious choice to start is Vernon Roach. Should be able to play his spy card. Yee yee. Look at that. Now who's got the most cards? And we get another spy. See, what I like to do is get enough spy cards so in the second round, when he's trying to win it, because he has to, otherwise he loses by default, I can just keep playing spy cards. And making it so that by round 3 I've got such a giant army of cards left over that he couldn't possibly win. But I feel like we're still going to win anyway. We're doing relatively well so far. I've got enough of a comfortable card supply here that I feel confident playing some of them just to keep myself ahead in points. Because that way I can get him to keep using his cards. Who says, my friend says that the combat in Kingdom Come Deliverance is hard. How do you feel about that? I don't think it's hard. I think you have to learn how to play it. You know, and a lot of people don't like having to learn how to do something in a game. And so that's why a lot of people gave up on Kingdom Come Deliverance. Is because you had... It's not just... So, okay. It's twofold. You do have to level up in Kingdom Come Deliverance. You can't just... at level 1, expect to manhandle everyone. You do actually have to level up, but you can't just depend on leveling up to make the game easy. And I think a lot of people don't like that. They want it to be once you've ground out enough XP that you can just suddenly you're great at the game. And that's Kingdom Come Deliverance is not like that. Look at that, 84 to 37. Woohoo, we win. But outside of that, like I said, obviously leveling up does play a part, but the most important part is just learning how to do the combat system, how to parry, how to block, combos, all that sort of stuff. If you find the combat in Kingdom Come Deliverance to be too difficult for you, archery. Archery was added into the game as the stabilizer. If you don't want to go through all the work to, you know, follow the quote-unquote realistic combat system, just get yourself a bow and some good arrows, maybe even some heavy armor, and just go around shooting everyone in the face. The archery system is also not crazy easy, but it's significantly easier than the melee combat. Especially if you're good at keeping your distance. So, no, I would say that your friend... I'm not saying he's wrong, because the combat is challenging, but it's not too challenging. It's not... I would say it's not the same kind as, like, Dark Souls combat. It's not designed specifically to be difficult. It's just designed to be engaging and realistic. So, like, Dark Souls combat, in my opinion, is hard in the wrong way. Whereas Kingdom Come Deliverance's combat is hard in the right way. You know, all the people are still just humans. You know, they die like regular humans would. They're only hard to kill if they're wearing armor, because that makes sense. When you take something like Dark Souls, the enemies are hard to kill because they're ridiculously huge, have ridiculously long reach, can move way faster than anything can realistically move, and can also hit way harder than anything can realistically hit. It's the trope of, like, the D&D player who just maxes out all his stats, like... He's a bard, but can somehow also one-hand a massive claymore and you know, hit ridiculously hard, but, you know, also can move as fast as a rogue, or something like that. That's the problem that I have with Dark Souls combat, is just they're like, okay, well, instead of, you know, us having weaknesses, like yes, they hit really hard, but they're a little bit slower, we're just going to make them have no weaknesses. They're going to do everything absolutely the best, and that's how the combat is. That's lazy. I hate that. I've never liked that design in any game, including Elden Ring, which I really enjoyed. I still hate the way they design combat. I think it's the laziest way to possibly do it, and it's not engaging at all.
Mum was in shock. She was raving that it was better this way.
Crazy D Entertainment says, use the sheep Byrate to speed up levels in bow. Yeah. I mean, you can also do that in the tutorial on Skallets. You can go after, I think they might be sheep, but they also might be cows. The animals in Skallets. They basically, it does the same thing. You can just level up real quick, and then you walk away for a little while or whatever, and you can, they'll respawn, and you can go back and do it all again. Who says fat rolling, face blue smiling? I assume face blue smiling is an emoji. But on my stream chat, it just says colon face hyphen blue hyphen smiling colon. So yeah, fat rolling. That's what I'm saying, though. In Dark Souls, you as a character, if you're wearing too much armor, it slows you down,
Now I don't
right?
even know if she's
So
alive.
they're like, okay, weight does matter in this universe, doesn't it? But then for the enemy that's, you know, 1,000,000 times bigger than you and should be way heavier and therefore it should be much harder for it to move quickly, it doesn't have a problem with it. You know, that's the problem. Like I said, as much as I have liked almost all of the Dark Souls games, and like I said, Elden Ring, I've always thought that was terrible design. And when people are like, oh, it's the best combat, it's the worst combat. I'll take basic ass hack and slash combat over that, if for no other reason than just realism. You know, you don't see a lot of fully armored knights jumping and rolling around during combat.
That's the long and short of it. Multiply by 19, and there you have my life.
This lady sure likes to complain.
Mum and me. He crossed the line, and we fled.
Does she look different? I don't remember her looking that,
What will you do now?
Find my mum.
You
ugly.
realize that might not be that
I don't know if
easy.
that's the right
Don't
word,
worry,
but
I'm not daft enough to believe I can do it alone. I've got some new
whatever it
friends.
is.
Powerful friends. They'll help me.
Who are these friends, if it's not a secret?
No secret. Heard of the Church of the Eternal Fire? A priest helped me contact the Redanian witch hunters. Righteous, brave men. They'll help
Okay, yeah, you agree. She is ugly. I don't remember her being that ugly. I wonder if that's updated.
Fire.
I feel bad for the Baron.
Fire has set your
Well,
heart
this is his daughter.
It gives you strength and leads you down
Never
the path
sided
of
with the
truth
wife?
with
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. In the story, as bad as the Baron is, because, yeah, if you talk to him and you investigate,
Fire's tricky.
he's done some truly atrocious things. Like I said, he's abusive, not towards his daughter, but towards his wife,
Oh,
and a drunk. And now, mind you, from what I understand from the story, the reason why I pretty much always side with the Baron is he didn't start it, you know? He didn't start drinking habitually and start being abusive until his wife cheated on him and was constantly abusing him, trying to leave him, threatening to kill him, threatening to kill herself, trying to run away, trying to take away his children. Like,
Who I am.
when you look at it like that, you're like, okay, yeah, I condemn the Baron for being an abusive drunk. That's obviously bad. He shouldn't do that.
I'm certain you've heard
But
of us.
he's doing it in response to his wife being the worst person in the entire world, you know? So I always side with the Baron too. I think one time I didn't side with the wife, but I screwed it up somehow. I just screwed up one of the decisions, and I think
Noble
the wife wins.
a killer
I remember what it is. It's if you
for the good of another. The hunters and the church
do
of the
a certain
Eternal Fire
thing,
thank you.
maybe free the children, whatever it is, and the wife gets turned into like a swamp hag, and then the Baron just offs himself.
Desperate
I think I did that once. I did not like that ending.
Unexpected from a witch.
Kenshin Humorous says, hi mate, I totally agree with you about Souls games combat. I prefer Shadow of the Colossus bosses and the combat style to defeat them over the Soul series. Shadow of the Colossus definitely, I think, has a better written combat style than the Souls games.
Are you gonna take her?
I would agree with you. That being said,
Experience.
I didn't love Shadow of the Colossus. Like, I think it does combat, especially for giant bosses,
You know what you're
in a
getting into.
more engaging way than Dark Souls.
the Eternal Fire is the best thing that could
For
happen to
sure.
me.
And now, obviously, not every Souls game is the same, but that is my general problem that I have with Souls combat. Is just that they just want it to be hard. That's why they don't. It doesn't need to have any sort of a logical reason. It doesn't need to fit the story or the world that you live in, because typically all these monsters, like I said, they break the rules that you have to follow. You know, they'll typically have very few weaknesses and all of their strengths dialed up to 100. Like, that type of stuff is just not engaging. But the reason they do it is because they typically don't have a very well fleshed out world, so the combat needs to be hard enough that you have to do it multiple times. Otherwise, the games are just too short. It's the same complaint I had with Elden Ring in general. The game was, well, I mean, for one thing, probably just the best game of 2022. And part of that's because Elden Ring was a really solid game. Another part of that is because 2022 sucked for gaming releases. There's really nothing that compares to it other than maybe God of War Ragnarok. But I didn't play that game because I don't have a PlayStation. You know? I did like the first one quite a bit, though, so I'm willing to bet Ragnarok was good. Not to mention that, along with everyone who played Ragnarok said it was really good, or at least everyone that I know, or follow in any meaningful way online. Alright, what do we have here? A schematic for the Journeyman's Armor Repair Kit? Hell yeah! Otherwise, this guy does not have much to offer. Let's play Gwent.
Let's play cards.
Yeah, a lot of people will get butthurt when I tell them why I don't like Souls, Souls game combat, but that's why. It's just... I play a lot of games, and I'm used to developers finding a way to not have to work at something, and that's the vibe that I get from Souls combat. Oh shit. Don't draw another one. Good. I always forget. When I'm using this, when I have a deck that has summoning cards in it, like the Gontor Dims here with the Nilfgaard, or the Northern deck, always use that before you use your spy card. Otherwise, you might waste 20 of your draws on one of those summon cards. And then you blew it, you know. Bet she's got a Scorch card. We'll find out. Not yet. A lot of summoning abilities, though. It's okay, we're not going to let him out of this first one cheap. Oh, why did I do that? I should have used Biting Frost. Beans. I didn't have anything in there yet. Why didn't I use Biting Frost? Ah! I still could. I'm still going to do it. That'll bring him way down lower. Plus, we get to use our healer card to use that spy that he just used back on us. Now we're back up to the same amount of cards. Torrential Rain, eh? Well, it's a good thing I actually don't have that many siege units I'm using in this one. Plus, I have a Clear Weather card. I kind of wish I had more of those, because I can sit here and wait, and just in case so they don't have any, to make sure they don't have any Scorch cards, I could keep stacking my back row with siege units, and then just use my Clear Weather right at the end. Should have known. Alright, what do we have left? Haha, we have enough points. 1 by 1 point. I had to see what would happen. Got him, though. Taught him a lesson. Ooh, we got a Garcane. Don't really care, considering I'm, Oh, wait, let's read those, things that we got. Oh, that's the safe conduct. Nice bar you've got here. This guy should have some for sale, and I should be able to play him.
So what?
Ooh, he's a tournament guy. Alright, they're all Scoia'tael. That's okay. Lame as it is, we'll allow it. Let's also get rid of some of the food that's not as good. Alright, let's play Gwent.
You play Gwent?
Not with...
I'll play it.
Why are the PFIs separated like that? Shouldn't they be in a stack? Alright, let's check out the Scoia'tael. What did we pick up? Yeah, we still don't even have a full Scoia'tael deck. Doesn't matter, because I play Northern Realms until I get a good enough Nilfgaardian deck, and then that's all I play. So, because like I said, I don't care for the Scoia'tael deck, and I've never much cared for the monster deck either. Alright, well, I think Siegfried is who we're gonna swap out. Ooh, look at that. I'll allow it. Alright, this time I'm gonna remember. Play my, Who says played 3 hours of Greedfall, got bored, and uninstalled the game. I played the whole game for Greedfall, but I never had the urge to play a second playthrough of Greedfall. It was, for an indie game, it was good enough. Like, I didn't hate it, but... Yeah, like I said, because I did a full playthrough, and I even made some videos for it on my channel. You know, promoted it a bit and everything, but... It wasn't very good. I was pretty disappointed by it, I would say. On the bright side, I'll be able to, as long as I save her, I'll be able to use his spy card against him again. So let's try... I mean, he's going strong for archery. Might as well try throwing these guys on there, see what happens. He's gonna scorch, he'll do it now. Ooh, he's swapping with a spy. Well played. Nice. He's got 7 cards left, so do I, but I'm way ahead. So, if he's gonna win this round, he's gonna need to play a lot of points. Okay. I figured he was gonna do that. I'm glad that he used that, so now I can use this spy instead. Gives him less points. Yes! The decoy is exactly what I wanted there, because now I can pop this lady out, use her again, and play that other spy card. Possibly get another decoy. Not that that would make a huge difference, but if it does, I'll do it again. Yeah, look at that. Oh, he's going to be able to use a spy, so I'll be able to use that back. Haha! Because I just want to spend this whole round doing spy cards. Who says, worst thing is, it reminded me of Assassin's Creed. I don't know what Greedfall reminded me of. It mostly just felt like an old, outdated game. My biggest problem with it is they knew they had a lot of limitations going on. You'd think they would have maybe made the story more interesting. Like, that was my main thing that I disliked about it, is just, it felt so bland and mediocre. Whereas it probably could have been pretty good. Alright. Look at that, we played a card. This guy had too many Biting Frost cards, and he's regretting it now. Alright. I don't want to clear the weather effects. I don't want to pass. What should I do? I'll play this guy. I just want him to keep playing, because I don't need to beat him on this round. There we go. We'll let him win that round. Oh, beans, I thought I had the other one left. 34! Lexi says my neck hurts, hoping it stops soon. Yeah, but that could mean you die. You gotta be more specific than that.
You've been playing a while.
In Novigrad?
Ooh, we got Yennefer Vengerberg, who says, if it was just 19th century politics without the monsters and the superpowered natives, it would have probably been fun. Probably. See, that's kind of the vibe I had with it, too. I think they just didn't know what they wanted to do. Excuse me. Lexi1397 said, I never understood playing card games inside of a game. That's because you don't understand how fun The Witcher 3's minigame Gwent is. I don't typically focus on minigames inside games too much, but Gwent is the rare exception. I absolutely love it. Kenshin Hamura says, just had a funny thought. Would Chat GPT beat seasoned players in Gwent? I don't know. Mark Peg says, hello. Hello, Mark Pegs. Long time no see. Dang. Did I walk past the nearest fast travel post? I did. How did I do that? Let's turn around. Let's go back to that post. I think I just walked past it, so I don't have to go far. Who says Gwent, arm wrestling, boxing, same thing really. Well, the thing I usually compare it to is like, so in in The Witcher 2, we had dice poker. Not fun, you know. Hey, Estonian Gamer's here, and he says it's all about family. Are you making a Fast and Furious reference? Because whenever I make some joke about something being all about family, it's Fast and Furious related. Oh no, you know what? You're probably referencing the fact that the name of the stream is Family Matters. That's just the mission we're doing. You know, the comparison I like to make for Gwent is you take a minigame like Farkle from Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's fun enough. I like it as a story beat. It makes sense, but like not that engaging of a game overall. And then, like I said, you take dice poker from The Witcher 2. Sucks, you know? Not fun at all. I would have preferred it much more if it wasn't in there. Mark Peg says, what is the game in Bannerlord 2? I never tried it. Bannerlord. I don't think there's a minigame in Bannerlord, is there?
We've rights to conduct. Wandering souls.
Estonian Gamer says, living life a quarter mile at a time.
We've the circle to protect.
Okay, so it could have been a Fast and Furious reference.
What'll I get out of it?
Witches do naught for free. This
True.
the peller knows. Not to fear. How to reward one for their aid. This too the peller knows.
This guy talks funny.
Why hold the ritual at all?
At times men die choking with regret.
True.
At times death takes them before they've tasted any bitterness in life.
True.
These poor souls, unfulfilled, cannot leave this vale of tears.
Not true.
Their spirits,
They could
wander
leave.
amidst the living, must be judged, sent on their way. This we do on forefathers.
Mark Peg says, Red Dead Redemption 2 has some good games. Classic poker and blackjack. Five Finger Fillet.
Sounds like you could use a witch.
That's a fun game.
So yeah, I'll-
I play that one in real life.
Fuse, the peller do.
Yeah, Red Dead 2 has
Gather the folk.
the luxury of existing, you know, in the real world, and modern enough that most of the popular
the sooner we resolve
gambling
this, the
type
better.
games already
Let's do it
existed.
tonight.
So yeah,
Tonight.
it's easy. Easy to have some good... I mean, I don't much care for all of those games. The minigames, like I said, Five Finger Fillet is decently fun. I've never enjoyed poker, but blackjack's okay.
Fire.
Redneck Zeus says, I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie. Redneck Zeus, that is good for you. They're really not that good. You know, there's a couple rare exceptions. Like, I think the fifth one is pretty good. I like that one. But just on the whole, they're mostly a punchline for me. Usually I'll only reference the Fast and Furious movies if I'm
A word, please.
making fun of them. My wife really likes them, though.
Not had the pleasure.
Knoxville says, hey, how's it going? Hey, Knoxville, how you doing?
Left over from
Been a while since you starred in the Jackass films. I just assume you're Johnny Knoxville.
served under a
Either that or maybe you're the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee, the city. Either way, it's cool to meet you.
What is it?
Who says, I dislike Gwent, the standalone game, but love Gwent, the minigame inside The Witcher? I agree. I tried playing the standalone game, didn't like it, didn't get into it.
Speaking of which,
You know, it wasn't fun, but I love playing it in The Witcher 3.
drunk.
Lexi1397 says, I used to watch them often, now I do not, LOL. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to watch them as a child, or like a high schooler, you know. I think that's kind of who they're designed for. But once you get older than that, you start realizing, well, a couple things. One of which is just, these movies are all the same. You know, if you've watched one, you've watched enough. You don't need to watch the rest of them.
Violet blooms.
But on the other thing, they're just not very well made. They're basically Transformers movies. You just don't need to watch them. If you watch the trailer, you got pretty much the whole story. The rest of it's just explosions and Vin Diesel saying, family.
And them, the frilly ones, called birds of paradise in Zerrikania.
Yeah, like this. It's a perfect example.
Dragons of
Going
paradise.
out of his way to try and
She adored
make his family happy, planting
Dark
flowers for him,
shining
doing all
as
sorts of
blooms
stuff.
would please
You
Dad
know?
most. Though it's good to know her spirit's free.
Your loss.
Lexi1397 says they don't like the Transformer movies. I'm mostly just
No.
guessing because I've never watched the Transformer movies. I've seen, I think, part of the first one, and I just was not into it. Ben Smith says Thronebreaker story was fun. I saw that. I watched videos about it online. I never played it, but I watched some videos online about it, and it looked interesting. Mark Peg says Talbot is in Mountain Blade 2. Oh yeah, Tablet. Okay, I know that that's in the game, but I've never played
Got
it.
some information about
I don't know what it is. I assume Tablet is just some sort of a board game. Maybe it's like chess or something. But yeah, I've never actually played it. I've seen the dialogue option to play it with people, like when you're in the Lord's Hall, but I've never
Your
tried.
daughter's in Oxenford.
Is it good?
What the blazes? She all right? In good health? Safe?
Redneck Zeus says, we're gonna do things my way, no highway option. Name that movie reference. Okay, Redneck Zeus, I'm gonna go with
At least.
The Pacifier, starring Vin Diesel.
She said I could tell you she's safe.
When will she come home?
Definitely not Estonian Gamer says,
She's not.
definitely not Estonian Gamer says, it is like chess. That's what I assumed. I assumed that it was just gonna be basically like chess.
Her room's away.
Renix Zeus says, I like the Transformers movies well enough. Did you like the movies, or did you like the half-naked girls? Because there's a difference.
Sooner you accept this, the better.
Correct. Oh, man. I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of movies back in my day. Even a movie like The Pacifier. I have seen that. Now, mind you, not for a long time. I think I saw it once, right when it came out. Like,
All is not yet.
probably rented it from Blockbuster or Family Video or something.
Maybe she hasn't left. Maybe she'll hear me out.
Estonian Gamer says, I watched the Transformer movies as a wee lad.
Up, though.
As a wee lad, I watched the Transformers TV show.
Life is pointless without
A little bit. It came on right before I went to school. Back in, like, you know, elementary school.
Learned anything?
Nothing yet, but I'm on her trail.
Mark Pegg says, I never tried it, lol.
For you to tell me about
Who says, I think my mask of sanity is about to slip. Why?
Fine.
I never put on a mask of sanity.
When Ciri was on the mend, we took
Redneck Zeus says, I liked the full naked giant robots.
stiff from so much bed rest.
Giant robots don't do it for me. Not even in the right light. Not even after I've been drinking.
Pure luck in the flesh.
Speaking of drinking, so I had some friends over the other night, and we were playing cards. And, not poker, we were playing a good game called Scott. It's a German game. Anyway, we were playing that, and of course, drinking. Or at least I was drinking, and one of the other people there was drinking. It's funny, I was the only person at the table who's not diabetic. No, I'm not. There was me, and then there was 2 diabetics, a type 1 and a type 2, and someone with cancer. So, I was the healthiest person at the table, which is not usually the case. But anyway, so I was sitting there drinking, and, you know, tequila, because we were out of a lot of the stuff that we needed to have other drinks, like a Moscow Mule or something like that. And so I was drinking tequila sours, and we, first one my wife mixes, and it's probably made with the right proportions, and then after that she was busy, so she couldn't make me anymore, so I was making them after that. And so then they're no longer made with the proper proportions, and I'm just putting more and more tequila in them every time. And by the time we get to the end, I'm not drunk. I'm barely even buzzed. I've had like 3 or 4 tequila sours. And I'm finishing off my last one. I had like 2 drinks left. My friends had left, and me and my wife were going to go to sleep. And I was like, I'm going to finish this drink. And so I took one big pull off it, because I had maybe a drink and a half left, and immediately gagged and threw up. Apparently, it was just too much all at once.
Nothing strange on account they
Oh,
put
man.
them sideways.
Stony Gamer says, I hated and still hate animated movies.
Think you can outrun me on an horse?
I've watched enough
Naturally.
cartoons with my kids, like animated movies.
Black Mare,
Uh,
the one in the
just,
stable.
I don't hate them. They're not what I would choose to watch by myself, but I know which ones that I don't dislike,
What happened?
and I'll watch those with my
Yeah, the
kids, like
gypsies.
Shrek, Prince of Egypt.
No.
I think the How to Train Your Dragons movies were fine. I didn't really pay that close of attention, but they weren't very annoying, so that was good.
To race the Baron himself.
There's a couple of them that when my kids want to watch them, I'll watch them with them.
Oh, that'd be a sight to behold.
Who says name the movie reference? Oh, I think my Mask of Sanity is about to
Or
slip.
win, or take
Uh,
your sword.
Sounds familiar. Could be American
Drinking
Psycho.
more
I don't know.
sorts.
I don't know that one offhand. Sorry.
We start at daybreak.
Bullet says, I used to watch G.I. Joe and the 1966 Batman TV shows. I've only ever seen one episode of G.I. Joe. And remember, knowledge is power. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I've watched it once. I did watch, if you're saying the 1966, or 66 Batman TV show, if you mean the one starring Adam West, like the live action show, I've watched that one a whole bunch of times. So, if you talk about an older cartoon, I haven't.
Man's up!
Knoxville says, "Hoos, that's American Psycho, isn't it?" I really hope it is, because that was my guess. It's been a long time since I've seen American Psycho, so I couldn't say for sure, but that was my guess. So I really hope that's right. Because it will prove that even a movie that, you know, I haven't seen for quite some time, and I liked it. I liked American Psycho, but I didn't find it all that... It wasn't the best movie ever. You know, there's a lot of people who they talk about it like it's the greatest movie of all time. And I liked it. I remember enjoying it and thinking, oh, that was thought-provoking, and there's certain scenes I like, and I think Christian Bale is a really good actor. So, you know, it's definitely not a movie I would say is bad.
You're wind, not woman.
Anyway.
Worthy of the best horse.
Who says, yeah, Knoxville. All right. So I was right. Man, I'm happy about that. Studying Gamer says, Nico, have you heard of Chinese or Russian turok? Is it a type of food? I've never heard of it, but my guess when reading that is that it's a type of food. Who says, Studying Gamer, what are you salty about, buddy?
In an instant, all had forgotten the wager. Every man
You wouldn't want to know. Lexi says, there are certain moments while eating that you probably shouldn't test, lol.
Some, aye.
Certain moments while eating that you probably shouldn't test.
But what happened
Well, it says, yes, I meant the one with Adam West. Okay, I've watched that one a whole bunch of times.
Seen a lot.
Pretty good show. Very funny.
Never.
Uh-oh.
My personal favorite show from that time period is, and probably always will be, Hogan's Heroes. Absolute greatest show. Like, I love that show. And I never get sick of watching it. There's a lot of classic TV shows that I'm like, they're good. But I don't love them. I love Hogan's Heroes. That show is excellent.
So long.
Alright. Use your Witcher senses to find the shrine that marks the start of the Trail of Treats, or find the crones of Crookback Bog. Yeah, we're not going to do all that Trail of Treats nonsense. We're just going to go straight to Crookback Bog. Alrighty. Ben Smith says, American Psycho is a meme. It certainly has lots of memes in it. My personal favorite meme is the one with the business cards, that scene. And they'll just be comparing things that are basically identical. I think it's a well-made movie. And I like a lot of the commentary that it makes about modern corporate Western society. You know. That's how far I would go with it. And like I said, Christian Bale's a really good actor, so I think he plays his part very well. Plus the scene where he kills the guy while playing Wham is very good. There's lots of good... Like I said, it's an entertaining enough movie, and I do recommend watching it at least once. But it's not a movie that I would watch, like, all the time. That type of thing. Thundercats. Thundercats, I would associate that with, like, He-Man. You know, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, He-Man, all about the same time period, in my opinion. Or, like, maybe not time period, but, like, I associate them all together. Like a Novigrad whore. Alright, what else do we have? Lexi says, The Prestige is one of my all-time favorite movies. I like The Prestige. I know a lot of people didn't like that one either, but I like The Prestige. So this is Crookback Bog. Unfortunately, we don't have a fast travel point. We'll just go to Downmoor. Definitely not Stony Gamer says Transformers is just Sam screaming. Is Sam Shia LaBeouf? Because I would believe that then. And Turok is a card game. Okay.
Go.
So I was wrong. It's not a food. It's a card game. No, I've never heard of it. It doesn't sound familiar to me. Mark Peg says, Ciri's so fire. Haven't played Witcher in a while. I love this game. Come on. That's why on earth would I want to pull my sword out? Hey, look at that. We got our fast travel point.
Take it easy.
That was funny. The sword just like rolled over my shoulder into the scabbard. Definitely not a Stunning Gamer says, I used to watch old versions of Pink Panther and Tom and Jerry when I was a wee lad. I still watch Tom and Jerry sometimes. My kids like it. Lexi1397 says, what's not to like about it, lol?
Cook's a stupid killer. Shouldn't have ate the pup. No, we're like
Renix Zoo says, I recently watched American Psycho for the first time. I was a bit confused. Yeah, it's... Like I said, it's mostly... The best thing I can say about it is that it's an interesting commentary of, like, the
don't know you. Go away.
really surface-level, vapid nature of a lot of your,
A young woman got
Western
lost in the swamp.
corporate society.
Ashen
And not,
scar
like,
on her face. You could see
as a
her right
rule,
there.
but your, like, coastal elites. I think it makes a very good commentary about their mentality. And that's the best thing that it can say about it. That and, like, the mix of modern masculinity not actually being traditional masculinity. So you'll have the...
Soldiers with their tits.
You know, yeah, there's aggression and there's, like, drive and leadership and all that sort of stuff.
Listen,
But it's
the girl I'm looking
not
for,
driven
she's
out
in
of
trouble.
a desire to do
understand you
good
might
or
not
to
want
do
to,
right.
but
It's
you could
it's out of a
try.
desire to,
You know she was
I don't know, dominate
She visited the
and
witches
show
this
that you
summer.
can.
But there's no witches here.
Which is why
Frogs.
it's not actually very masculine.
Johnny.
You know?
What's this talk? What kind of jabbering is this, eh? No one allowed here.
Someone said
Just
Thundercats.
kids.
Oh,
My kids, they're allowed. But who are you?
Lexi1397 says,
Like
Nico
a
fire.
bandit.
Nico, fire! That just reminds me. It reminds me of from Futurama, the episode where there's the lava down in the basement, and Fry's dog. Bender throws Fry's dog in, and they're all saying they're going to jump in after it into the lava.
One of the witches of the
And the
swamp.
professor is like, Professor, lava, hot.
Aye, I've been broom nor out,
That's
not one
really
wart
funny.
on me nose. Got a pretty
Kenshin
nose,
Hamura says,
eh?
one of my best or favorite movies of all time. 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. The most funny and tragic one ever made. I've heard of that,
They're my
and I've seen
grandchildren.
clips of it online, but I've never actually seen the full movie.
Scratchings for supper.
Kids get lost in
Uh,
the woods.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that movie.
Seen them in the woods. No one
Crazy
has.
D Entertainment says, Hot D.
Just talking to the kids. Asked them if they'd seen a young woman.
Oh,
Our next
I
who says,
want a
Futurama
lovely
is such a
young
goated
woman.
animated show.
You're a
I love that
young,
show.
beautiful
Futurama
blonde
is
woman
really
did up
funny.
for me. Had
I watch a
dresses
lot
with
of the, like,
flowers
adult
on 'em.
animated shows.
Maybe you've seen her. Young,
I've watched all
passionate
6 seasons
You're
of
betrayed.
daughter
Rick and
of
Morty now, and I thought that was good. I love Futurama. Simpsons is okay. I like it, but I don't love it. I love American
Where are
Dad.
they now?
I like King of the Hill.
Maybe they've come
I
to
used to
some
watch
harm.
Family Guy, but I don't watch it anymore.
Had about enough of this. Asked a simple question. You seen the woman or haven't?
I don't care for South Park.
You're not children.
You know, I watch a lot of them. Oh, Bob's Burgers I like. Archer I like.
Maybe Johnny knows something. I'll take him to Johnny before he goes barmy on us.
Johnny's your invention, and you shouldn't be using those ugly words. To the hut. Go on now. You'll stand in the corner, I'll make sure you do. And you, stop scaring the little ones. Now go. Be gone.
Kenshin Hamura says you should try it then, mate. You're gonna love it. I think I will. Like, it's on my list of movies that I want to watch. And the reason is because I do think that I will enjoy it.
Can't come in here. Not allowed in here.
I just want to talk to the boy.
Not allowed.
Brendixu says
It's
Futurama
not
is one of the
allowed.
shows
He won't talk to you.
you can
anyway.
watch on repeat over and over again. Yeah, I never really get sick of Futurama.
And Johnny's made
Crazy
up.
Entertainment says Netflix Disenchanted is good. I've heard that Disenchanted is good. My mom says that she thinks it's really funny. I haven't seen it yet. I don't have Netflix.
Don't be
Uh,
asking no questions.
But I do want to watch
You're a
Disenchanted because
stranger.
it looks
Not allowed
pretty
to talk
funny.
to
I've
strangers.
seen like 2 little clips of it online. I try not to watch too much because they'll pop up and I try to avoid them because I don't want to spoil it. But it does look funny. It looks a lot like Futurama. Just set in like the in the Futurama episode where it's Bender's game, you know, the one where they do like Dungeons and
Why don't you
Dragons
want to talk about Johnny? One of you knows about him.
and go into like a pseudo fantasy medieval world. That's just what I assume Disenchanted is like that episode.
Snails. But Gran says Johnny's made up.
Stoning Gamer says, I just got Netflix. What should I watch after All Too Quiet on the Eastern Front? I
Have
mean,
you ever seen Johnny?
Crazy Entertainment just recommended Disenchanted.
Then why do you say
I don't know what's on Netflix right now because, like I said, I don't have it.
Gran knows lots.
Lexi1397 says, I saw a little bit of King of the Hill and I freaking loved it. I laughed pretty hard. King of the Hill's funny. It's a solid show.
She's scared. Say
I enjoy it.
might take us, and we'll disappear.
Redneck Zoo says, I watched about the first half of season 1 of Disenchanted. It didn't really do it for me. Well, like I said, I haven't seen any of it yet, other than I saw 2 clips. I saw this one clip where this princess, who I assume is the main character, shows up in the main hall naked or whatever, and the king says, anybody that looks at her gets executed or whatever. And I remember the scene being pretty funny.
The girl I mentioned is in danger. You gotta help me get.
And then like some guy walks in or whatever and is like, whoa, did you see that? Princess was naked or whatever. Yeah, it looked funny. It looked funny. I haven't seen it yet, but it looked funny to me, and people have told me that it's pretty funny. Ben Smith says, do you like Brickleberry? It's hilarious if you like dark humor. I saw a little bit of it, and I did not care for it. That's the one that Daniel Tosh made, isn't it?
Let's play.
Because I didn't like it.
Have to help me talk to the boy who knows Johnny.
Definitely Not a Stunning Gamer says, also, should I watch Breaking Bad? Walter? So with Breaking Bad, I've only seen the first couple seasons of it. I struggled to watch Breaking Bad, not because it wasn't well made. And I do want to finish watching the whole show at some point. I stopped watching it because I watched through maybe the first 3 seasons all pretty close together. And it's hard for me to watch a show when I don't like any of the characters in the show. You know? Like, everyone was just super dislikable. The only thing I could like decide was who I disliked the most, and that's what's her name? Walter's wife, Skylar. Oh my god, I hate her the most. She's the Cersei Lannister of that show, a character that I hate more than everyone else combined. But other than that, it was hard for me to try to pick someone that I actually liked, because I don't like Walter. I mean, the closest one to coming to someone that I actually enjoy as a character would be Saul. And that's why everyone's always telling me I should watch Better Call Saul, because apparently it's just, you know, him all the time.
You can stop hiding.
How'd you find me?
Bro, why Witcher Green? I don't know. Crazy Entertainment says, it only takes 2 brickleberries to fall asleep. It's like counting sheep. It's a very effective way to get to sleep. It takes 2 brickleberries, or you have to watch, what's another one? 3 BoJack Horsemans. This guy went out the back window. Our next news says, Brickleberry and Paradise PD are alright if you like grotesque sexual humor. Not my cup of tea. Yeah, see, I don't like grotesque sexual humor. I don't mind adult themes and stuff in my shows. Like I said, I just finished all 6 seasons that are currently out of Rick and Morty. And there's a lot of adult humor in there. And I liked it in there. But I don't like it everywhere. Brickleberry was one of those ones where it was... I think a lot of people thought it was going to be really good because they find Daniel Tosh to be amusing, especially on a show like Tosh.0, or in some of his stand-up. But yeah, I didn't like it. I think I watched only 2 episodes before I was like, nope, this show's not for me. I feel like I already followed these tracks, didn't I? Or no, these ones are leading this way? Oh, okay. There we go. Found them all.
The last one.
Walter! Crazy Entertainment says, watch You Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad together. A lot of people that I've talked to that love Breaking Bad said Better Call Saul was way better. So, whether or not I finish watching Breaking Bad, I'm gonna watch Better Call Saul. Do they take place at the same time? I thought one of them was before the other one, like, in the storyline. Bumblebee bit Yagnar in the ass. Crazy Entertainment says, Cuphead is very funny. Lexi1397 says, I love The Last Kingdom on Netflix. I also like The Last Kingdom on Netflix. Solid show. Oh! Why is the witch... You mean his armor? He's wearing the school, the Griffin School armor.
Why are you scared to talk?
It starts out green.
not scared
You can
of
dye
that.
it later when you get armor dye, but that's in Toussaint,
Johnny
which,
otherwise.
you know, I'm not
I'm
not in
worried
Toussaint. I'm in Velen.
don't come round no more. Once, when we was mushroom picking, I saw his burrow, but Gran yelled at me, said not to talk to strangers, 'cause then kids go missing. She worries about Johnny too, though she says he's made up.
Where are you and your friend's parents?
Dead. Some starved, others were killed, like mine. One day,
Bro, that armor is ugly.
I looked for
Wow.
berries in the woods.
Way to be so mean to my
Still
armor.
some around back then.
I'm not a super high level witcher. I can't wear that many different types of armor.
I heard
Currently,
the
at my level, this is the best stat-wise.
laughing.
Crazy D says, Polar is a great movie on Netflix. Must watch.
My mum
Redneck Sue
yelled.
says, I mean, the 911 calls on Paradise PD were pretty funny. And if you saw them outside of the show, you would think they were real 911 calls. That's fair.
Said clean off. And then my mum.
It's all right. That's enough.
That's enough. Probably could have stopped earlier.
I just want to talk to Johnny. He could know more than you.
Not gonna hurt him, right? 'Cause he's real. He's not made up.
Stony Gamer says, the look of the armor is fine. The color is going to make me throw up. Oh, come on.
Levi, 'cause
I like
I'm
green. It's my
listening
favorite
to his
color.
songs.
I don't dislike it. I think it looks fine.
Mushrooms. Johnny said he saw a girl with ashen hair.
I think it's a little...
Where can I find
I don't know.
Johnny?
I go back and forth on how I feel about the School of the Witch of the Griffin armor. I think it looks a lot better once you get it up to like the highest level. The Mastercrafted and the Grandmaster variants of it look the best.
Thank you.
But I don't dislike the way the Griffin school gear looks. I think it looks alright. I like the green. Green's a good color. Now we're on to Ladies of the Wood. I can't even honestly call this stream the Family Matters stream, because now we're on Ladies of the Wood. Time to kill some drowners and the swamp hag. Took that guy's head clean off. Oh, it's a water hag, not a swamp hag. Suck on that.
If Johnny's real, he must leave prints.
There was a 911 call where a lady was panicking because she locked her keys outside of the car. That's one of those ones that you're talking about? The show you were talking about? I forgot what it was called already. Something PG. Crazy D Entertainment says, F is for family, adventure, beast, and hoops. Don't recommend Trailer Park Boys animated. I never found Trailer Park Boys to be amusing. I thought it was annoying.
I like that silver.
I recently watched season 1 of What We Do in the Shadows. It's a documentary-style comedy about... well, not documentary, but you know, like how Parks and Rec and The Office and Brooklyn Nine-Nine... Well, not as much Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but The Office and Parks and Rec, they're like documentary shows. They're about people being followed around by like a crew, and so they'll be talking to the camera. What We Do in the Shadows is like that, except it's about vampires. And like I said, I've only seen season 1, but it was pretty good. Made me laugh quite a bit. My wife didn't like it, but I liked it. Whoa. Nico, opinions on red and black. The color is red and black? I think as a combination they look good on a checkerboard. Redneck Zoo says, like the one of dude getting his member stuck in a garbage disposal, that one was pretty funny. Or the funny fat guy eating a whole plate of pot brownies and thinking he died. Lexi says, no, that was a real 911 call. Oh, okay. Crazy D Entertainment says, Vikings Valhalla is decent. I haven't seen that one. I liked Vikings, the show Vikings, like by History Channel, right up until they kill off Ragnar, because then they start focusing on Ivar the Boneless, and he is a absolutely terrible character, and I hate the show as soon as it becomes about him. True Blood? No, thank you. Bullet 315 says, listening to 911 calls sometimes makes me lose all hope in humanity. That's how I feel about those videos when you've got someone going around asking, like, really, really simple questions to people on the street, and they give answers back like they just learned how to talk the day before. It makes me lose a lot of faith in humanity. Kenshin Himura says that show is like a mockery to The Interview with a Vampire. That's kind of what the vibe I got from is that it's supposed to be like mocking Interview with a Vampire, the movie, but...
A godling.
I thought, like I said, I thought it was pretty funny.
I'm looking for a woman with ashen.
Crazy D Entertainment says Ozark is epic. You're just getting all sorts of recommendations from Crazy D.
Where did you see her? What was she doing? It's important to me.
Stunning Gamer says, yo, I killed Ragnar the Boneless in AC Valhalla. Good. You didn't mean Ivar the Boneless? It should be Ivar the Boneless. He's a real historical person. In fact, in real life, it's almost certainly that he didn't have, like, some sort of a weird leg problem like he does in the show. It was probably a reference to the fact that he was impotent. Like, he couldn't get a bone, if you get what I mean. Ivar, yes, my bad. I'm glad you killed him, Estonian Gamer, because he's terrible in the show. I hate him in the show. And it's not like, ooh, he's a character that you love to hate. He's just a character that is unwatchably bad. You know. Not that he's so evil, I can't stand him. It's that he is a bad character. He's badly written. The actor, I think, does a pretty bad job at delivering most of the lines. At least if you want to maybe feel anything. He's not... You can't empathize with him at all. You know, he's literally just the worst.
Watch out.
Crazy D says, if you need entertainment recommendations, I'm your guy, lol. Lexi1397 says that would make more sense. Well, yeah, in the show, there's the scene where you see him taking you see Ragnar taking the baby out and putting it, like, by the water or whatever, and he's going to leave him there, but then he doesn't. In real life, he almost certainly would have been left out. Norse culture was pretty well known for being similar to Greek culture in that way, or at least many of the Greek cultures in that way. Babies with imperfections were either killed or just left somewhere to die, which is, you know, just killing them. So...
This the place?
Yeah.
Let me look around.
Radnexu says, I preferred the Last Kingdom's implementation of Ivar the Boneless. Mention his death. That's it. Right? Exactly. The Last Kingdom did it way better. They were like, yeah, Ivar the Boneless was killed. Good. That's like the response everyone else. Good. Good. That guy was a dick. I agree. But just in general, now, like, I like the first couple seasons of Vikings a lot. I think they're really good. But, like I said, after the divergence in quality, and where you start getting the focus on Ivar, it just absolutely sucks. Whereas The Last Kingdom is pretty consistently good. The only thing I can say about The Last Kingdom is in the first couple seasons, I hate Uhtred. I think it's the worst in Season 1, it's still pretty bad in Season 2. After that, Uhtred becomes a character that I start to like. And most of the thing about The Last Kingdom, though, is the only character that I absolutely dislike like that in any of it is Uhtred. All the rest of the characters are pretty good. Farzar is funny. In AC Valhalla, he is just fine, but he is crazy. And it was a story mission to kill him. I doled him, threw him off of a cliff. Nice. Stony Gamer says, like a Viking, am I right? Ha 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 ha. Funny laugh noises. Sure, I think you're right. Funny laugh noises indeed. There we go, we got our wyvern stuff. I thought that first one I was fighting didn't look like Harpy. I wasn't paying that close of attention because I was reading chat. But I was fighting it, I was like, I don't think this is a Harpy. There's an achievement in this game for sliding a certain distance down a hill, and I think it says Mad Steez, bro.
Here.
Now I got the Harpies. Oh, great. Now I've got Harpies. It's gonna leave a persistent Rash. I'm not sure what you get with harpies.
Slither! Ringworm! Rubbish!
Bumblebee! Flabbergasted!
Ha! The sound of it! Peter Piper picked Prince Proxima a pack of pickled peppers by the pontar.
Done celebrating?
Lexi1397 says Ragnar and Oba equals fire. Like they burned in hell as pagans? Interesting. Very based opinion, Lexi1397. Estonian Gamer says, bro, that area looks like Estonia. That makes sense, Estonian Gamer, because I'm pretty sure it's based on Poland, and Poland probably looks a decent amount like Estonia.
How'd you lose your voice?
One morning I awoke and opened my mouth for my usual bout of singing with the thrushes. Lo and behold, no sound escaped. I tried and tried.
You meant hot? You mean hot like burning in fire and brimstone. Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. We're on the same page.
But people began crying out, "A smudger!
A smudger!"
And sick their dogs on me. Do I look like a smudger to you?
Not a bit.
Well, I thought not.
I thought not. I like his tone of indignance.
Who else would curse me? Blackbird friend of mine located my voice.
I just get a kick out of it. I think Johnny's a funny character. I just like how he's the indignance he's got at being called a smudger.
Ravens serve the crones. They don't help no one.
How do you lock someone's voice in a bottle? Just
Bro, where'd my granny's house go? I'm sure it was there somewhere.
Mine's a voice to crown all voices.
Maniac is a decent show to check out. I've never even heard of that one. You're starting to get into shows that I've never even heard about. Mark Pegs is leaving. He says, see ya. See ya, Mark Pegs. You didn't chat that much. You could have been involved in our ridiculous conversation about different TV shows and whatever.
See anyone like that?
The argument between whether guys are hot or if they're in hell.
As soon as I woke, I went to empty my bowels. My favourite part of the day. Defecating to the sunrise. Downright glorious.
That's true.
Suddenly, heard a bang. So loud it couldn't have been me. And that lass appeared. Out of nowhere. Young, ashen-haired. Just like you said. Wounded and panting to boot. She raced off towards the children's house.
I like Johnny. I get a kick out of him. He's funny.
I yelled some
One of the few characters that I actually like listening to the stuff that he says.
Sadly, I'd lost my voice, so I don't think she heard me.
She ran off toward the orphanage. Kids could know something, or the old woman who takes care of them.
Oh, that old hag don't speak to strangers, and you're a stranger.
Will she talk to you?
I have spoken to her, got my ways. So be it. You helped me, and I'm no bore. Come with me.
Definitely not a Stony Gamer says, Nico, I might think that Lexi might have meant hot as an attraction, not to hell, but the attraction between two humans. You mean like a gravitational attraction, as if one were so massive that they would have their own pull as a celestial body would? I could see that argument. Maybe they were made out of some sort of a super heavy material. Maybe something with a density 10 times greater than that of uranium. That would probably give something the size of a human enough of a pull to have some sort of a physical attraction to others. That would make sense. I get what you're saying. So we're talking, like, hypothetically, if those two men were made out of a material, like I said, with at least 10 times the density of uranium, that there would be some sort of an attraction between you and them? That checks out. I mean, I'd have to see, like, the math behind it, but just on the surface level, I think I can get that into my headspace. Lexi says, don't forget to like the stream, people. She's correct. Make sure you check and make sure that that like button is working. Nexu says, I finally finished Peaky Blinders. That's a good show. I haven't seen Peaky Blinders yet. I mean, I've seen parts of it, but I haven't seen all of it, and I want to watch it because I think it looks like it'll be a really, really good show. Crazy D Entertainment says, Carter is a non-stop action movie. I'll take your word for it. Nexu says, Bjorn Ironsides makes country music now. Really? I might have to look that up. Sounds interesting.
Good. It's clear. Not a crone in sight. I need to sing to Gran. That ought to calm her.
Stony Gamer says, I might have meant sexual attraction. Might not. Nico, you made me think now. Right? You think about it one way, but then you think about it the other way. And it makes a lot more sense the other way. Because who ever heard of someone having sexual attraction? I've never heard of it. At least not, you know, anywhere near me. Crazy D Entertainment says Money H.
Your voice back.
I did, though I seem to have lost an octave somewhere in the process. I shall look.
Money Heist is good. Oh, that's what you were saying.
You're not allowed here, Johnny. You shouldn't.
I have a whole bunch of notifications on my phone.
Gran, don't get angry. It's not good for you.
The woman I asked about earlier.
Forgive me, Gran, but this fellow absolutely must talk to the ladies.
No, she's not allowed.
I can never get into Peaky Blinders. Maybe I am too good of a citizen to like a gangster's movie. Ha ha ha.
Please hear me out.
I mean, yeah, I would probably struggle to get into it now. Like if it was the same type of thing but set in the modern age. But somehow if you put it back in the 20s or earlier, or I guess whenever, I don't know when Peaky Blinders takes place. I just, from the costumes, it looks like it's like 20s or earlier. Anyway, if you put it in that setting, I can watch it without feeling too bad about it, you know? If it were about, like, modern-day gangbangers, I probably wouldn't be into it, even though it's basically the same thing. But, it's the same thing as, like, mob movies about the 20s, like movies about John Dillinger stuff like that. I'll watch that, but I would probably never watch one about some modern criminal. I guess it's just there's enough time removed from it to make it not quite so disgusting to me, because it's not the current decay of society, it's a decay of society from the past. Because it's the same type of thing as when you watch a movie about, like, Billy the Kid or something like that, you know?
Who are the women in the tapestry?
Lexi1397 says sexual attraction. Just so you know, I could work that into meaning something that you don't mean, but I'm not going to. I'm going to allow you to sin in front of everyone.
Wretched and small.
Estonian Gamer says, drugs bad, cigarettes and alcohol good. Depends. Crazy the Entertainment says Knives Out is funny. I've seen that movie. I thought it was okay.
How dare you disturb our rest, woman?
I'm looking for the woman with ashen hair. I know you met her. Where is she?
Oh, he's impatient. Perhaps he only likes ashen-haired girls.
It's clear you met her.
Redneck Zoo says, I took a few seasons for me to really get into Peaky Blinders. The first couple seasons are really slow. They're making a Peaky Blinder movie now to wrap up some storylines from the final season. That's kind of like Deadwood. I watched Deadwood. It's a HBO Western show. There's 3 seasons of it, and then they canceled it. Like, there's actually a funny story behind how the show got canceled. But anyway, it did get canceled. And there was like a 15-year gap, and then they released a movie that kind of wrapped up the story. I liked it. I thought Deadwood was really good. It didn't take very long to get into it. Basically, the first episode, I was like, I think I'm going to like this show.
Dark power? You need a knight errant.
Lexi1397 says, she's done thirsting over men. Good. Thirsting is wrong. You should never be too thirsty. If you're too thirsty, then you might drink the wrong thing. Remember that.
And now our servant will bring you the dagger.
Ooh, a dagger.
I'll talk to the alderman, but I can't promise anything.
Move, woman! Give the young man the dagger.
And you, White One, return only once you've completed the task.
Stoning Gamer says, Nico, have you seen the Chernobyl show or the movie? I've seen, if you're talking about like that show that came out pretty recently, I've seen a good chunk of it.
Oh, mistress, right. On me way. Dagger. Gotta bring the dagger.
Don't you give me those narrow eyes, Lexi1397. You're the one who was thirsting.
The dagger. For you. Lady told me to give it you.
You may be the law.
The dagger.
You say you have some control. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Place the alderman's
Out of curiosity, how many guys have you controlled today?
Stone bear, stone shear, stone nose, stone ears.
Stonian Gamer says, I mean the HBO show that was once, one time, someplace. It's a really specific description you've got there. Anyway, I did watch a good chunk of a show about Chernobyl that came out relatively recently. It was interesting enough. It didn't hold my attention very well for a couple reasons. One of which being I already know most of the historical context behind Chernobyl, and I don't enjoy things focused on, or at least I typically don't enjoy stuff, you know, Soviet stuff, just at a core level. I find it mostly infuriating because you take one like Chernobyl, and it was just one thing after another that it was a ridiculous fluke of nature that never would have been a problem if Soviets weren't so terrible at, like, doing almost everything. You know, that's how the Chernobyl disaster came about, was basically just a very, very typical example of Soviet failure. You know? And it's a great way of showing the world how many times the Soviet Union almost destroyed the world. Because out of all of the major F-ups that they ever had, Chernobyl's the one that actually made it the furthest and wasn't able to be stopped either by emergency intervention from them or some other nation. So, yeah. That's my takeaway. Zeus says, I look forward to the Oppenheimer movie. I think I saw a preview for that.
Greetings.
Only movie that it's kind of on my radar right now is the Super Mario movie.
Real pearl of the swamps.
If you say so.
I saw the trailers, looked interesting. One of my daughters is super into Mario, so I'm probably going to take the kids to go see that one when it comes out.
This dagger?
Crazy D Entertainment says giggity. As you should, Crazy D. And Lexi1397 says, I only said some.
So you know who sent me. Good. Easier that way.
Forgive me.
Crazy D Entertainment says the 100 is decent. I haven't seen the 100, but I have a brother that watched it and he really liked it.
They be harsh mistresses, but they're
Stonian Gamer says, remember the German and Japanese robots that were sent there? I had a lot of trouble reading that question.
Who gave us seeds to plant? Round the other villages, they be eating the soles of their boots, whereas we get along well enough.
The Mario movie looks fun. I think so too, Zeus. Well, and it's got
I'm supposed to help
a pretty well-known cast like Charlie Day and one of the Chris's, Chris Pratt. It looks good. I think it'll look fun.
Under the tree on the Whispering Hillock, they lie.
Stunning Gamer says the rovers to the roof of Chernobyl. That failed. Oh, rovers. I thought you meant like robots, like some sort of a futuristic thing. I was like, I think you might be watching a different movie than I did, or a different show. Crazy D Entertainment says you might be a bot. I might be a bot? Why? Care to explain?
They know all.
Definitely not a Stunning Gamer says ring a bell.
Folks stop respecting them. Some even call them witches.
Renix Zeus says the 100 is pretty good. Yeah, like I said, I've heard good enough things about it. Is it done now? Because I think back when everyone was clamoring about how good it was, my takeaway from like watching some stuff was I'd rather just wait until the full thing is all out, like it's all the way out, before watching any of it. Because like I said, I don't like waiting for shows to come out episode by episode or even season by season. So if it's all out, I might watch it sometime soon. But again, I've already got a backlog of things that I've started or haven't started yet but plan to. And so, I don't know that I would want to add anything to it. I have to do the Whispering Hillock mission. And if I want to get the good ending for the Baron, I have to kill the thing in the Whispering Hillock here. I can't set it free. The 100 is finished. I might do it, you know. Crazy Entertainment says, it was hard for you to read that comment. I feel that was a bot check question. Oh, that's fair. I could be a robot. But if I was a robot, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Be gone. Come no closer.
Counteroffer.
Know whence you come.
Counteroffer. Instead of coming no closer, I will come closer and kill you.
The powers that protect me, they sense whence you come.
Shouldn't there be a werewolf somewhere around here? Look, a dead body. Burn, baby, burn. Look, another dead body. How do I get inside? Stoning Gamer says, my granddad was almost sent to be a Chernobyl cleaner, but then whoopie-doo, my uncle was born and he didn't have to go there. Lucky. Jack Black, yeah, Jack Black's in the Mario movie too. He's playing Bowser. Like I said, it looks like it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, one of my daughters is a huge Mario fan, so, you know, they're going to love going to it. I know there's an... It's down here, isn't it? Damn. I feel like there's a werewolf I have to kill before I can get in, but it should have been up there. Cursed and Warrior Nun are two great shows to watch together. More for the female audience, but still decent. Stoning Gamer says, there is a really funny reality show set in the 80s through 90s about shenanigans in the USSR and later Estonia. It's quite funny. I bet it is. A lot to make fun of there. Help me out, guys. What am I missing here?
Pretty damn hot. Even the women weren't spared.
Of course not. Find a passage leading under the hill. That's what I'm trying to do. You'll know I have the wolf's liver. You are missing good-looking armor. Don't worry. Once I have... Oh, you know what? I bet you it's over here.
Kid. Medallion's humming. Place of power. It's gotta be.
Won't let me over all these rocks. It's just a big rock wall around the whole thing. This must be the entrance.
Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! The powers will not relent.
Mystical voice, I think you know full well that I'm not going to be gone. I'm going to come and kill you. Suck on that, werewolf.
Show yourself. I want to talk.
Yeah, there was a dead child. Ah! That was weird. Oh, I gotta swim. Yeah, always when you're swimming underground in these, or underwater, underground, that's silly. When you're swimming in these games, you gotta always keep your eyes peeled for chests and stuff underwater. Because you want to get them the first time so you don't have to swim back under to get them again next time. Yeah, buddy. I think we just got a recipe for an oil. That's nice. We'll have to check our alchemy page. See if we can, craft it up. Oh, that's the wrong one. Alchemy. Oils. Look at that. We can make superior elemental oil. Nice. We can also make a potion. Superior Maribor Forest. Nice.
Why have you come?
Lexi1397 says, alright, well, it's about time to hit the old dusty trail. Bye. Why are you leaving, Lexi1397? Not having fun?
Or is my freedom your wish?
You claim to be imprisoned. How so?
Bullet said, fun fact I learned recently is that there were Estonian Waffen SS soldiers serving as guards at the Nuremberg trials. Crazy Entertainment says, bye, have a beautiful time. I assume it's a reference to American Dad. Lexi says, my Bluetooth headphones need to be charged. So you're just gonna leave? Quitter. Ben Smith says, I always hated the constant looting in this game because it's basically a must-do. Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I get so used to it. I'm used to it enough that it doesn't bother me, but yeah, you do, it is a big part, and if you don't loot, you aren't able to craft stuff, you always are short on money, and other resources, so yeah, it is annoying that you kind of have to do it.
I don't believe you, Spirit. Too many claim you're evil. Your words alone, not enough.
Dare me, and against you will rise all the powers of nature.
It's been a while since I took this approach to this mission. I like how she says all powers of nature will rise against me. It's just a couple Endrigas. I also like how that was supposed to be super big and dangerous. Basically, you could have sent down, like, a team of lumberjacks down here, and it probably would have had basically the same effect. You know? Now that the law is gone, laughs evilly. There is no law. The only law is, there is no law. Nope, there's still a law. Plus, you never know if one of my other mods is just lurking in the chat waiting to ban you. Drop the hardcore ban hammer on you. That's what I'm saying. The law could... I have multiple laws in my streams, typically. And so, Lexi1397 is usually the most vocal of them. But, you know, not the only one.
Solved your problem. Just in case, though, avoid the Whispering Hillock for a while.
Cannot be. There's something lurking there.
An evil spirit had possessed a tree on the hill. It was responsible for the killings.
How'd you dispel this evil?
Killed it with a sword.
Some being had come to possess the tree's heart. I destroyed the heart and its inhabitant.
So it were a ghost. Will it be back?
No.
Reaches for the Colt revolver.
The crones, or the ladies of the wood as you call them,
Smoke.
said to remind you about payment. Take it you know what they want?
Aye, I do. Give me the dagger. Be back soon.
He's gonna cut off his wang. That's what they want. The ladies of the wood need to get their wangs. Ouch. I don't think that would feel very good. Looks gross.
There's payment. Take it to the ladies, will you?
What the hell was that?
'Tis our pact. You're a stranger. You don't know life here. It's honest pay for their protection.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
All those ears in the woods.
Put it out your mind, master. You soon be leaving, and we must tarry on. Our young'uns and their young'uns after 'em. No gods nor masters watch over Velen. The land is no man's. He who wants to survive must seek his own protectors.
I got 12 whole experience points for that mission. Look, an ear. So gross. If there is a law here, show yourself at once. I don't think that's how the hidden law works, Estonian gamer. I'm pretty sure they lurk on purpose.
Sheathe your weapon, young man.
In real life, you're...
Sci-fi source says, I am law.
The tapestry.
Crazy Entertainment says 12 experience was a lot back then. Well, yeah, that's before inflation. You gotta keep that in mind. Gross. She's got a thing for ears. Alright, you got a F1, marry one, kill one. The three crones. Go.
Give you this transgression, for you've done well. Your children are plump as piglets, sweet as caramel.
But now we must talk to our white-haired friend.
I know that mark. This is Anna, the wife of the Baron of Crow's Perch.
She belongs to no man.
A fruit ripened in her womb.
She belongs to no man. It sounds like these the crones are like a feminist icon. Bullet says, is kill myself an option? Nope. You gotta have one, marry one, kill one.
She bears the mark. She is ours.
Oh man.
Come.
That's the worst one. Bullet, I would also take that approach if I had to do that. Oh man.
Our deal. I did my part, now you do yours.
A word once given, we never break.
The girl. Mousy blonde. That's what they call it.
Mousy blonde.
Thin as a rail, terrified, exhausted. She could barely stand the poor thing.
We cared for her.
I don't know which one I would want to kill the most. Probably the big fat one.
Like she was our
Brewis, I think is her name. I think I'd have to kill her.
She proved a very naughty girl.
Mischievous, stubborn, and selfish.
That's all I've got so far.
Don't believe you. They say you
Who would I marry? Who would I
always
F? I don't know.
tell me everything, exactly as it happened.
Shall tell you, brave boy.
I mean, the one with like the weird eye with black things sticking out of it is extremely hard to look at. So I don't know if it would be better to, because marry doesn't mean you have to ever F. You know, it just means that you basically share a house together, which would be gross with any of these people. But you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you ever need to have any sort of relations with them, you know?
Not at first, it was her the omens had spoken of.
A child of the elder.
You guys tell me first. Kill the one with the hat? You gotta pick the other ones, Crazy D. Ben Smith says, what if they would transform into their human form? Well, that would certainly be better.
She fell into our hands.
That one's nips are sticking out of the bottom of her shirt. Marry the one with the cloth? I think marry the one with the cloth too, but that leaves... Oh, you're gonna F the big fat one? Crazy D? Brewis? The situation's pretty gross. Yeah, Ben Smith, the best option would be if they turned back into their human form. It would still be gross knowing who they are, but at least it would be doable.
Come, sisters, no point in dawdling.
I don't want to dig the hole. That's fair. Yeah, you'd have to dig an extra big hole if that's the one you're gonna do.
Get her. He will, but not whole.
Well said. We'll just have a sample.
I'll take her feet, Lovely. Plump. Perfect for a broth.
They're gonna eat her feet.
I can taste it already. Very well. Get on with it.
Clearly the crones have a foot thing.
Oh, you'll regret that, girl. Regret it dearly.
Alright, the Stunning Gamer says he'd marry the one with the claw, F the one with the hat in painting form, and kill the big fat one. I don't know, that seems like cheating there, Estonian Gamer. Just choosing to F the one in painting form. Yeah, they're pretty gross. It's basically the hardest version of that game I could possibly think of. Because basically I just want to kill all three of them. I like his hairy horse feet. They're so clippy cloppy. Imlerith. The big bad. She was up a tree. See, you always have to look up. When you're looking for someone or something, you gotta make sure you remember to look up. Human nature is not to look up. That's why it's one of the best ways to hide, other than not moving. Because not moving is a big thing, because movement is what gives you away. But one of the best ways to go for trying to hide is to go up. Because humans don't naturally look up when they're looking for things. Isn't that weird? But it makes sense. Because there was a house I lived in for, I don't know, maybe 9 years. And I realized one day that I had never looked at the ceiling in the hallway by the back door. I looked up and I was like, huh, there's like a floral wallpaper up there. In 9 years, I'd never looked up once in that hallway.
You tried to kill her. Can't forgive you for that.
Waste of words.
I always wish they'd let you do a boss fight here and kill them. Oh, my eyes, they're
Now
itchy.
is not the time for that to bear fruit. Now we face shadows and wander midst fog. Each time you see her, she will be a mirage.
Also, when you drive, look up, you'll never know if an MI-26 is landing on top of you.
The girl will die. She's seeing you, handsome knight.
They are so gross. CD Projekt Red did a really good job designing them to be extremely gross. Alright, we gotta go tell the Baron what we've learned. Say, all I want to do yet in this stream is just finish this this storyline here with the Baron. World map. Where the heck's the fast travel point? Okay, it's over to the right. Because we've already been going for 2.5 hours. I got stuff to do, or I should say what I always used to say. I got places to be, people to do. No, wait. What was it? Stuff to be, people to eat? I can't remember. Definitely Not Stunning Gamer says, for those who don't know, the Mi-26 is a Soviet transport heli. Oh, here we'd call that like a Chinook helicopter, something like that. Coming down from above and hooking onto your car, flying away with you. Except, a lot of U.S. service members who have ever used or been in a Chinook helicopter call it a shit hook. Yeah. Crazy the Entertainment says, I don't know, I kind of want to change my answer. Now, did you see that extra pair of legs on her? Yeah, I did see that. It was hard to look at. Also, probably pretty hard to miss. But I did see it, so I'm guessing that's your F option now? Oh, man. Gross. The crones are so gross. Let's go get the Baron and go rescue our dear Anna, the worst lady who ever lived. Now that her brain's been fried by the crones, you kind of feel bad for her, but before that, nah. Crazy D, at least you're honest. You see that extra pair of legs and you know you want to go.
What do you come to me with?
Ben Smith says, now the kids are dead, they ate them. I know, I was just moving on past that because I didn't want to think of it. There's two reasons. One of which being, you get the better ending if you let the kids die, as unfortunate as that is. Plus, there are kids in the village that if you free the spirit and she goes and kills the village, they kill kids there too. So you feel bad about it either way. But there's also, I think, if you do the mission where the cat and wolf play, and you rescue that little girl, I think you bring her to that village. You know? So like I said, I was just like, ugh. And I did that mission. I didn't want to, you know, have that be the option. There's no good answer out of that one. Either, obviously, a lot more people die in the village, so if it's a thing of pure numbers, there's only like 4 or 5 kids in the village that the crones eat, as opposed to the spirit destroying the entire village, which is a lot more. So, just from pure math, you know, one of them is worse than the other, but I know, it's hard to swallow that no matter what you do in that mission, people die because of it.
The world you witches inhabit, but in ours, nothing is ever black and white.
Probably gonna say you're not the only one to blame. All right then, I'm willing to hear your side of the story.
Way to go and make me feel guilty, Ben Smith. I was just trying to cruise on past that without thinking about it. Now I know that these fake kids in a video game are dead, and it's because I killed the thing. It is gross that they eat them. I guess with the village people, it's, you know, the spirit kills them, but the spirit doesn't eat them. In the swamp, they're raising these orphans, fattening them up so they can eat them. That's just gross.
She wept with joy. Soon after, Tamara was born. And after that, they sent me to Sidaris. The warlord had risen against King Ethan, and Faltis sent help.
Also, another thing, the Bloody Baron. He's Temerian, not Redanian. So it was always, I had a weird cognitive dissonance with him, because he's always wearing red, you know. Should have had him in blue. Would have been easier for me to recognize that he's a Temerian soldier, not a Redanian soldier.
All right. What then?
I went from front to front, battle to battle, collecting soldiers' coin, while Anna sat alone with the babe for months. Later, I learned she'd not been so alone after all. For nearly 3 years, she'd found comfort in the arms of one Evan, a childhood friend, a dog's bunghole. Understand, damn it? One tussle in the hay I'd have waved aside, put it out of my mind. But the woman
Starting Gamer says Temerian like tomato. No, Temerian. T-E-M-E-R-I-A-N. No tomato. The blue lilies. Like I said, it's hard not to empathize with them. They were married. But for all intents and purposes, there was nothing bad about their marriage. They had a kid. He was off. He's a soldier. That's his profession. He was fighting as a soldier in the war while she was at home raising the kid. And she decided to go screw some other guy and, you know, hook up with him instead. And, you know,
felt like I'd been rammed in the arse by a
you know, by everything that we know about the story, that's how all the problems started. And he didn't do anything bad.
Slaughtered the shit-eating twat.
Yeah, the only thing about that here is that, and he kills the guy that was screwing his wife.
Imagine Anna wasn't.
That's like a modern thing. They're like, oh man, the scandal. He killed this guy, and it was just for adultery. But if this was actually a medieval setting, he wouldn't have had to kill them. The local magistrate, if they found out that a married woman was screwing some other guy, while especially any sort of high-ranking soldier, you know, was off fighting or whatever, they would have done it for him. You know?
Felt I had no other means.
Ben Smith says, on my first playthrough, I killed the spirit because it didn't tell me anything to make me trust it. It was the more logical choice because you didn't know who the ladies were either. That's the problem, though. If you've played the game multiple times, you know more about the characters. You're like, okay, the crones are really bad. They're really nasty, evil things. So you dislike them, especially depending on what ending you get in the game. You might dislike them more. But, like, going into that mission, it's the word of these people who you don't know versus the word of this clearly evil spirit thing that you don't know. The evidence, though, is that there are dead bodies around the hillock, including women and children, and, you know, for all you know, it's, even if you had a bad feeling about the crones, yeah, like you said, the spirit doesn't say or do anything to prove that it's not super dangerous and evil, you know? So yeah, I agree. The more logical decision is just to kill the spirit in the Whispering Hillock.
You're right. Faults on both sides, yours and hers.
I'm content that you finally see that. Very well then. If you won't bring Anna home, you might at least tell me how she landed in that blasted swamp.
15 experience points, look at that! Now we're really racking them up, cooking with fire for real now.
What the bloody hell?
She was with child, a child she didn't want to bear.
I'm gonna skip some dialogue since we already know all of this stuff.
Then, probably.
Oh great, now I gotta do the Ciri stuff.
No, that's
As much as it's kind of fun to play a Ciri because she's got the warping ability, I didn't like how it drew me out of the game. I would have preferred that they just had it be like a short cutscene. I guess the only good thing about these Ciri cutscenes is it shows you another side of the Red Baron. Like, he has no reason to help Ciri or to be, you know, useful to her or anything like that. But he does. And he's brave in combat, like he stands up and fights the basilisk with her, instead of just running and letting her try to take care of it. You know. I wish the basilisk would land so I could try to kill it. I don't have a crossbow, so I can't shoot it down. There we go. Of course it lands and then I kill a wolf. You know, so, like I said, outside of the game-stoppingness of playing as a different character, it does give you a little bit of extra backstory into the Baron, which I like. Wasn't letting me attack there. Oh, it flew away. Crazy D says I killed it the first time. Ciri, Google back. I like the Baron's knife thing on his chest. Flew away with the Baron. Get to the top of the tour.
Damn it! I can't leave him like that.
Come on. How do I get up there? I always forget how the heck to get up there. Aha, figured it out much quicker than I usually do. It always takes me a while to remember how the heck to climb up there. Oh, I skipped the last cutscene where it shows what happens. Well, she saved him. And this part right here, like, it just shows that clearly the Bloody Baron is not a fundamentally bad guy. You know?
Yes, thank you.
Like, he has no reason to be helpful. Or this helpful towards her. He's grateful that she saved his life. He shows gratitude and humility, you know?
You helped me as well. When your man brought me here. You fed me, cared for me, had my wounds looked after. We're even now.
You needn't leave. You're in good company here. We'll always have a warm corner.
Would have let her stay there, you know?
Must leave. Wraiths pursue me. The wild hunt. I was foolish to use the power. They're sure to have caught my scent.
The wild hunt? Pursuing you?
I'll endanger all of you by remaining here. You must tell the people to bar their doors and windows. And no one is to wander the night.
You? Where do you think you're going?
Now, I ride for Novigrad. And then, who knows where.
How mysterious and epic. No! Love that sound. That's the best quest completed sound that any game has ever had.
So there's a check.
It's nothing.
Spit it.
I won't.
Must have not.
I heard. I've no.
Yep.
Fine.
Let's go to the swamp.
Who? You mean?
So I.
Uma.
Foot.
Must. Funny.
Went to cards with. Asked him, was he?
A real side splitter.
Proper house.
Come on, let's skip it.
Time.
Fair. And.
Hey, look at that. We got another letter of safe content. The Stunning Gamer says, Nico, your silence makes me think you have a Alexa in your room. No, I don't have an Alexa. I just didn't want to read it out loud. You gotta switch it over to that one. Because before we end our stream today, which is coming up soon, before we end the stream, though, I want to finish the Baron's storyline. Ben Smith says, on second thought, the mission was in the E3 demo, so I knew they were monsters, but not all details were shown. I don't remember. I remember watching, because back in, when did this come out? 2014, 2015? Back then, I was still interested in shows like E3 and Gamescom and all that sort of stuff. I would, like, actually watch most of the stuff that came out on them. Now I'm so sick of the modern gaming environment that I can't stand watching them anymore. But back then I did, and I remember seeing, you know, stuff about The Witcher 3 before it came out. Definitely not a Stunning Gamer says, no, please, no end. Well, that's just not possible. I can't stream forever. But like I said, I have important stuff to get to after the stream, so I can't stream forever. Typically, all I've got time when I allot for the stream, all I allot for it is 2 to 3 hours, and we're already at 2 hours and 45 minutes, or coming up on it, about 2:41. So, I just want to finish up the.
They didn't ride from Novigrad to hang two lobsters.
I don't know, my lord.
They say where they were headed.
Geralt, good, you've arrived. Can't draw any.
Stunning Gamer says, it's like meth, I'm addicted to your streams. For legal reasons, I have never done meth. What's meth? I know, for legal reasons, I've never done any drugs.
To the village in the swamp, my lord. Lass rode with him, asking after her mother, Constant.
Lass? We must go there at once, Geralt.
Agreed.
I'll gather my men.
Get into the swamp. We do not. The fun thing about this mission is you don't need to stick with the Baron. If you just rush straight through to the spot where the crones live, their house, they'll show up. And I like that because it prevents you from having to do a lot of stupid walking along with people. See? Look. They kind of just like jump along to each spot where you'd have to fight someone.
What will these hayseeds think of next?
The crones exist. They'll know that soon enough.
Suck on that, drowner. Rot fiends and a water hag. How exotic. Ah! Ah! Ah, come on, water hag. Haha! Not today, water hag. Cough, 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 cough. Nico, please stream Stalker. I do not have Stalker.
Witcher, why are you here?
Tell you later.
So. Couldn't do it. Plus, I probably don't have that many streams left before I'm going to start playing Hogwarts Legacy. Because that's going to come out. I'll be playing that starting the 7th. February 7th, that is. So I probably only have a couple more weeks of... weeks where I'll have a Tuesday free to stream instead of releasing videos. And so...
Don't think you have anything to fear. Brought your new friends with you.
I have no fear, for the eternal fire protects me.
Won't need to
What? No, I've played Stalker. I don't have it on the Steam account. I had it on my old Steam account.
Come, don't deny me this embrace.
Stay away from me. I've come for Mother. Unlike you, I'll not see her rot in this swamp.
Why the hell do you think I'm here? To take her home?
Oh, you'll do no such thing. You'll not lay a finger on her. Never. I'll not let you.
You've a right.
Crazy D says, let's go, Slytherin House. Ooh, I happen to be in Gryffindor. I got pre-sorted, remember?
But I've changed. Ask anyone. Geralt, come, tell her.
Your father, he wants to find his wife, your mother. Really.
He pay you much to be his yes man.
Verily I say unto you that ire and vehemence can lead to naught but one's downfall.
Who the bloody hell is
I like that the witch hunter is actually like, hey, remember, raw hatred and a no willingness to forgive when someone deserves it is worse than the thing that you're not forgiving, you know? Starting Amy says, well, lucky you, Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl is only $5.99 buy now. Yeah, but why buy it? I've already played it, so I don't really need to play it again for my own needs, and I'm probably never going to stream it, if I'm being honest. There's only certain games that I can stream on YouTube for multiple reasons. One of which being just the fact about people need to actually watch the streams for them to be worth streaming, and the other thing being
How do you know they're not here?
ratings and stuff.
We're still alive.
Search the village.
Crazy D says it's okay, we can still be friends. Good. I would be pretty upset if you were like, oh, Gryffindor? No, only Slytherins, because Harry Potter's not that important to me. That guy has a cool looking sword. That witch hunter in front? I really liked his sword. Looks awesome. And I mean that in the least homoerotic way possible. Come on, creaky breaky for donkey.
Don't.
Over here!
Oi! Get back, stinky head. Gingerbread loaf, freshly baked and hot.
Yeah, if you do it the other way, and the children get freed, she gets turned into like a nasty water hag looking thing.
Go on.
And it does not get a good ending. No, Nico. It's cheeky breaky IV like Ivan Domke. Oh. When I see IV, I think of Roman numerals 4.
So pretty.
Cheeky breaky Ivan Domke. Ive Domke.
I begged.
She begged.
What's happened to her?
I said I'd do it all. Give it here. I'll scrub it again. Scrub it clean.
Mother!
Do you not get the reference? No, it's... I assume it's something from Stalker. I don't have a... I don't remember every aspect about the game. I just assume it's something from Stalker. Oh, look, a dead witch hunter. They say it? Oh, it's kind of like the people in here where they'll be like, come here, witch fucker. Or Pamparam. Pamparam. Got their asses kicked like a Novigrad, or got their asses whipped like a Novigrad, or... No, when you said it, it didn't even sound familiar to me. Or like when you typed it, I guess. So, is it something they say a lot? Look, a fiend! The fiend tried turning us dark, but we got him.
What was that?
Looked a fiend to me.
It were.
Sensed us. They know we're close.
In Blood and Wine, NPCs ask you if you pull Anna Henrietta. That was hilarious. Yep, I remember that, but I've played this a lot more than I've played Stalker. I like the little NPC things that are programmed into games, especially when there's not a ton of them, so you hear the same ones kind of over and over again. It's kind of like in Kingdom Come Deliverance. Look, Henry's come to see us.
Where would you take her in this state? Oxenford? It would mean her death.
I know how to care for my mother.
She's not a rag
Poke.
doll to be ripped from hand to hand. Let her decide.
Bye. Bye for dinner.
Mud pie.
Bye.
She's incapable of deciding anything just now.
A dark spell, it must be. Help
Anna
me.
Henrietta's pretty good
I
looking.
beg you.
This is no dark spell, I'm afraid.
Well, what is it then?
She's been through a lot. Lost a child, was carried off by a fiend, lived in the crones village taking care of children who are now gone. It's left
Ben Smith says, honestly, I wish Geralt did poke her. If you do it right, you can poke Anna Henrietta's sister. Dr. Zowden, you're super late. We're about to end the stream. I'm at almost 3 hours. Why are you so late, Dr. Zowden? I was waiting for you to show up. Hey, look at that. And you super chatted €5 when you popped in. You're super late today, Dr. Zowden.
Might be worth a shot.
I shall go with you.
That's
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, you never get to poke Anna Henrietta, but you do get to poke her sister if you play the game right and make the right decisions.
Once we finish
And she's good looking too.
We return to Oxenford.
You said you'd save my mother.
And I
They
kept
say,
my
oh,
word.
he has the nerve to show his
Father
face.
can care for her now.
Lexi1397 says, what, really? I just got back. Well, yeah, we're almost at 3 hours.
Changed man. And in his eyes, I see true.
You just got the notification? Dr. Zowden, didn't you join the Discord server? Because the Discord server sends out the notifications every time I start a stream.
All will be well.
Yeah, I gotta get going. I just wanted to finish this storyline before we wrapped up the stream for today.
And once she is herself again, we will find you.
Swear it.
You have my word, child.
Thank you for the super chat, though, Dr. Zowden.
Witchers were made
to kill monsters.
It doesn't
matter who posted the notice. The coin has to be right. That's all.
Witchers
Don't debate. Conscience plays no part. They just get on with it. The coin purse tossed at their feet and set off on their way. Expect witchers to save them from themselves. See, we just finished the main storyline for Velen.
Thank you.
Now we move on to Novigrad.
Despite all.
Lexi says Dr. Zowden is the best. Dr. Zowden is the best. Not only a channel member, but also a frequent super chatter in the streams. Gotta love that. Moneybag Zowden.
Right to let your father do nothing more.
Destination Skellige. That's not what we want to do. Skellige's the last place I like to go. Novigrad. Looks like we've done... I guess Forefather's Eve would be the next one that I would do. But we're not going to do it today anyway. I'm just gonna loot these body things, and then we're going to be ending the stream for today. So thanks everyone for showing up. I'm glad you all tuned in for the stream. Dr. Zowden, wish you could have been here earlier. You probably would have enjoyed the stream. I don't know for sure. I can't say that it was a top 2 stream, but it was yeah, enjoyable. I love playing this game, so... Dr. Zowden says, my new phone is damn weird. Things are not popping up like they should, and notifications are coming in silent. Lexi1397 says, do you have Do Not Disturb on? That's fair. It could be just some sort of a setting that's not working on your phone. But I've also had phones that just don't seem to work. See, that's why I got it in the stream. I'm getting tired. We'll rewatch. Well, that's fair. That's the thing. It'll be live on the channel, and you'll be able to watch the full stream at the very least. Definitely Not Estonian Gamer says, the Stalker Bandits are interesting beasts. The leader of the group squats on high ground and shouts orders. The rest charge in for battle with their battle cry, Cheeky Breeky I've Damki. What to do now? Well, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I plan to. But that's all for today. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.